What's up, y'all? It's Antoine Winfield Jr., safety for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
What's up, y'all? This is Jamal Wolf from the New York Giants.
What's good, y'all? This is Sterling Shepard.
This is Justin Tuck. This boy Flex Gilbert, Super Bowl 42 world champion.
Chris Godwin from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
What's up? This is Saquon Barkley. Dex Royce II.
Yo, this is Mike Evans with the Tampa Bay Bucks.
And we about to go live on Flag on the Play.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the episode Flag on the Play, episode 86. Back here with the guys, bro. How we feeling?
All right, draft week, dude. It's draft week.
Draft week.
Football Christmas. Come on now.
But let's get it started. Donnie, I'm gonna start off with you. You know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts about James Pierce? It seemed like he's about to fall out the first round.
Well, I haven't worked within Tennessee. Unfortunately, I'm still in college, but I know some people who have worked for Tennessee. And I hit up one of them like, hey, man, is the James Pierce stuff true? Because I don't know. I don't have any crazy connections within Tennessee. And he just told me that he might have a little bit of issue here and there, and maybe that's enough to push him down the board. I've also never really been the highest on James Pierce in general. I mean, I just kind of think when you're 240 pounds and your bend and your flexibility is just kind of mediocre, I don't even know if you can survive in the NFL like that. So I understand it. It shocked me because back in March, I thought this guy was going top 20 pretty easily, but it seems more and more likely he's going to fall out of the first.
Trey,
I haven't been keeping up too much with the on-field stuff, so I don't know the specifics. Like Donnie said, I think the bigger issue, regardless of what he's got going on off the field, the reality is the tape it's good and there are obvious flashes of his talent, but again, you're 245 pounds. You're not the bendiest dude on earth. You don't have an exceptional level of power in your hands for a guy your size. So I truthfully, let's keep it a stack. The NFL has taken bigger risks on much more volatile people than James Pierce Jr. Hey, Jalen Carter. Enough said. And
he went top 10.
But the reason why he went top 10 is because the talent is undeniable, right? At the end of the day, the NFL is a talent. This is a talent-driven business. If you are good enough, they will ignore almost anything. So, it's whatever. If he's falling out the first round, to me, the off the field stuff is more so an excuse just to justify the fact that a lot of people might not necessarily believe in him, the player.
Norman?
Yeah, I think if James Pierce falls out of the first round, I think it'll be more due to just other edges in this class getting more recognition and rising up people's boards than just the character concerns. I think as time's gone on, remember back in summer where PFF had James Pierce as the number one on their board and had him going number one overall.
There's a viral clip of me talking about it.
Now we're here talking about him falling out of the first round, and I think it does kind of make sense. He's a 240-pound edge that doesn't have great bend, and he's a weird projection. I think he's a weird player to project because he's actually his run defense tape is not actually that bad, but again, he's 240 pounds. How do you project that to the NFL? And he's 240 pounds, doesn't really have great bend. He's a very linear athlete. So he's a weird player to project to the league. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually fell out of the first round, but I don't think it's really because of the character concerns. I just think other edges in this class, like Mike Green, Shamar Stewart, have been getting more recognition. And people have realized that James Pierce isn't number one overall pick worthy, like PFF was saying, last summer.
Hold on, wait. I got to jump in just for a second.
Go ahead.
The Mike Green, I'm still struggling with the Mike Green.
What you mean?
What about Mike Green?
I'm not a huge fan.
You don't see it?
I think he's a good player. I don't think he's clear cut. Gotta be in the first round.
Mike Green Marshall.
Yeah. I'm like I can't pronounce Buddy's name from Boston College, but I was actually watching.
Nazaraka, that's his name.
Yeah. Like if we talking about a guy that like I would rather have as an edge rusher, yeah, give me that one. Like the Mike Green thing, I like again, not saying he's a bad player. I think he's a good player. I just don't see a first round pick. That's all.
No, I know, man.
I'm higher on Mike Green. I know
you don't watch. I know you don't watch college like that. But what's your thoughts about James Spears?
Yeah, I mean, no, I do watch college like just for entertainment, but like I don't be watching film and all that like y'all do. But from what I know about James Pierce, like I know that he has a lot of talent because like I watched a couple of the Tennessee games and I could see like, okay, this guy, like, you know, he's a good football player. That's just my observation from like, you know, just watching the regular game. As far as the off the field stuff goes, I mean, I don't think that's anything that we could really say without the specifics, just because like, you know, that's just between him, his agent, and the teams that are interested in him. If this is something like big, who knows? Don't have that many thoughts on it.
Oh, look who pulled up. Ironic. Tegan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you a bot. Anyways, I'm sorry. What's your thoughts about James Pierce seeming like he's about to fall out this first round?
Prayed for times like this.
Wow.
This is a draft full of very confusing prospects, not really traditional to what you're used to. Smaller edge player, you tend to think very quick off the edge with a ton of bend. And he doesn't really fit that. And I can't speak to the off-field issues. Never met the guy in person, but wasn't a fan of the tape before. I think he'll be a rotational pass rusher. I think he's good value in the second round, honestly, if he falls that far. But there's a lot of guys that you may feel deserve to be in the first round, and they could fall all the way into the second. Guys like Emeka could be drafted as high as 12, or he could fall in the second. So that's just kind of how the draft is going. So I'm not surprised by it.
All right, Donnie, I'm gonna start with you. Because we talked about a little bit Jalen Merrill getting invited to New York, but how many quarterbacks will end up going round one? Not how like what you think, like what
I would want, or what I think is going to happen.
What you think is going to happen? What you think is going to happen?
Unfortunately, it's going to be more than two, which is unfortunate, but I think that's just the reality of the situation. I'll say three. Small outside chance of four, but I'm gonna really hope not. I think there's gonna be three, and I think a lot of guys are gonna go in the second round. I think Miro goes in the second round. I think Will Howard goes in the second round. I think guys like that go to the second round. But first round quarterbacks, Cam Ward's the lock of the century, going number one. It's been that way since January. He's going number one, and then Shador and Jackson Dart, they'll find their way in there. Whether it's the Giants, the Browns trading up, the Saints, the Steelers, maybe even the Jets, like something like that. They'll find their way in there. So I'll say three.
So this is a genuine question. What was the last time a quarterback got invited to New York and he didn't go first round?
Will Levis, yeah. And they really don't want that to happen again. I think Milroe ends up going round one.
I'm gonna be dead ass. Like I think three is because outside. Okay, Tegan. Outside of Will Levis, do you remember another one?
Gino.
Not.
I can look it up.
Yeah. I know they've made extensive reports that they really don't like the look of having a kid sit there the whole time and never get picked. They would only invite him, and they've removed guys this year because of what they've heard from the NFL. I think Seattle or the Steelers end up pulling on Milroe. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes. So if the last one was Will Levis and before that it was Gino, and that's damn near a decade ago. I'm not gonna lie. Most likely
there might have been some in between, but that's just the ones.
I can't remember any. But
I looked it up. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, so most likely I think it would be Cam, Shador, Dart. Jackson Dart going first round. I don't think he should. He's going first round. Jalen Murray's going first round. I don't think he should, but he's going first round. It's going to be 4. But Trey, how many do you think he's going to go in the first round?
It's probably what you said, 3 or 4. I think the only 2 guys that I would have given first round grades to would have been Cam and Shador, but clearly we've had this conversation on this platform. The business model is the business model, so you gotta have one. And Milroe, between the lack of, it's the combination of the lack of surefire prospects and the amount of raw talent that kid has. Somebody, just by the nature of the way these contracts work out with quarterbacks, somebody is going to, at the back half of the first round, either they're going to try and trade up to get back in the first round to get that 5th-year option on him, or maybe he drops and somebody like the Steelers or one of these other teams that are consistent playoff teams but need a young quarterback in that room, they take a shot on him because they're like, you know what? Kid's really talented, physically gifted. We can figure out something to do with it. So
I think he's going to bare minimum give you a really solid, like, even if the passing is far from being where you need it to be, he's always going to give you, I think, a solid rushing attack based on his threat with his legs.
Yeah,
you're always going to have like a top 15 team in rushing just because of what he's got. If you have a competent running back.
Yeah.
Norman,
I think minimum 2. Like, I think there's no way that Ward and Shedeur don't go first round. Like, I just think Ward is a lock to go at 1. And I think Shedeur, like, there's so many landing spots where a team can get a bit desperate for quarterback, like Jets, Saints, Pittsburgh. Like, I think those teams, like, I think there's just so many possibilities where Shedeur just ends up being picked. I think at minimum 2, and I think it can go up to 4 because I think Dart and Milroe could also slide into the first round. So like 2 to 4. I'm not really sure like how much these teams will want to take the like debate on Dart and Milroe, but I know that at minimum 2. So I'll just say 2 to 4 to be like, it's a boring answer, but I think that's like the reasonable range.
You know who's a sneaky team that could go quarterback round 1 and probably could live with going with Milroe and stashing him for at least a year is the Rams.
The Rams, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Anyone thinks this could be like a 2022 situation where we had all these mock drafts of, you know, Malik Willis was going in the top 10, Sam Howell, Matt Corral, Kenny Pickett, all that. And then in reality, it's just like Cam Ward goes 1, Shedeur falls to like 21 to the Steelers or something. And then we don't see another quarterback into the second round.
Yeah, that's why I said 2 to 4 because I think there's a world where like these teams actually don't value.
Is there a word with Shedeur? Is there a word with
no?
Because I don't think
no, because you're not going into your first week of the season with Mason Rudolph as your quarterback.
Yep.
Who got Mason Rudolph?
Steelers and A-Rod won't commit to them. And so what are they supposed to do on draft night? Act like a quarterback that could all of a sudden decide to retire tomorrow? Like, then they screw their franchise. Like, and honestly, you can have A-Rod for a year and have Shedeur sit. Like, Shedeur would really benefit from sitting.
Is there still a chance the Browns take Shedeur at like 3?
Aaron, so
you said what?
Is there still a chance that the Browns take Shedeur at like 3? Because I know I saw that a bit.
At this point, no, but I think the Giants still could at 3.
I think they're baiting quarterback to see who's willing to jump. I think any report from those 2 teams are just trying to get someone to jump up, and then they're just going to take BPA.
You think they could trade down? I feel like that's something that's not being talked about enough. I feel like the Giants trading down would make a lot of sense.
I mean, they do it every time they got a top pick. That's what they do. They always trade down.
When they took Saquon,
like that's literally all. Like they literally all unless they got a generational player on their hands that they can get. Yeah. They are the definition.
And I love Abdul Carter. I think he's a blue chipper, but he's not Myles Garrett. He's not that. So I wouldn't hate the idea. I don't know. Maybe it's just
There is one team, I mentioned it in the chat. There's one team in the top 10 who has never traded down, but has traded up 24 times, and it's the New Orleans Saints.
God damn, they traded 24 times, bro.
They've all Mickey Loomis does not trade down, and they seem like they have fallen in love with Travis Hunter. And if he falls past 2, they're going to trade up with the Giants to go get him.
I don't think he's getting past 2 though.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
I didn't know that. I mean, I threw out on the group chat earlier the Bears idea, like sliding both their second round picks. You don't have to give up any picks next year. You go get Abdul Carter, edge is a big need, and then you still have pick 72. Like, there's a lot of Bears fans wanting Jeanty. You can get a good running back at pick 72.
I'm not gonna lie. If I'm the Bears and the Jags are willing to let me go, I would go get Jeanty. Like he would transform that offense. I think. Like it's one of those things where it's a luxury pick, at 5 for a running back, but they're in a position to go get a guy that could, if Caleb's struggling again, you want to go get a running back that can bring him back home.
Facts. Yo, Josh.
Draft guru in the house, baby.
Yo, Josh, how many quarterbacks you think going round 1?
Ooh, this is tricky. So, where I see it, there's a lot of Shador dialogue, but ultimately, I think it's a lot of smoke. I don't think the Saints want Shador at 9. I think that they'll just punt this year and then maybe just hope that they get Garrett Nussmeier next year because Garrett Nussmeier's dad's actually the OC of the Saints. So that's a good connection right there. Steelers at 21, it's been stated that like they're looking at like D tackle and stuff. They're not even like confirmed looking at quarterbacks. So like they're just doing their due diligence. It doesn't seem like they're bona fide going quarterback. But if I had to infer, maybe 2 quarterbacks go first round, like a team could trade back in for a quarterback. 2 or 3. That's my guess.
All right.
I also saw I saw a clip from Shador talking about the top 5 best quarterback wide receiver duos in the league. Seems like him and Cam like to troll about who they're here and potentially could pick them up. His last answer was whoever's throwing the ball to DK Metcalf and George Pickens, and he smiled.
Yo.
Yeah, it's crazy. No, so before we continue on this draft talk, I don't know, Norman, I don't know if he was trolling or not. Yeah, but I heard you saying a lot of shit about Parham D-Hop.
Well, D-Hop?
Yeah, peak D-Hop. I think it was the Karen who told me that. You said, if you think Nico Collins did us better than peak D-Hop?
Nico? Like 24 Nico, if he were to like play it the whole, like when he was healthy?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a draft pod, so I don't know why I'm being asked about peak D-Hop.
Nah, it's no.
I mean,
we're talking about draft.
I'll say yeah, but I don't know why.
Hold on, real quick, just clarify.
This is some Brandon Jennings type of dodge.
We all talking about the draft. This is an NFL show. We're gonna be talking about because we're gonna be doing all this shit later. So I just gotta ask you this because you feel what I'm saying? I just gotta. You think you think Nico Collins 2024 Nico Collins is better than any year of DeAndre
I'll give you an incomplete answer. I think he's better in 2020 D-Hop. Like, I think
whenever he got to the Cardinals, he's better than D-Hop.
Yeah, he's better than Cardinals D-Hop.
But Texans D-Hop is better than Texans Nico Collins.
I have no words to say about that yet. But I'll say he's better. I'll say he's better than Cardinals D-Hop, yeah.
I mean, is there really a big difference between Texans D-Hop and first year Cardinal D-Hop? Like,
yes.
D-Hop. I don't know about that, man. D-Hop still has
first year. I don't think so.
Still
the first year of D-Hop on the Cardinals? No, there's not. No, there's
bro,
not.
his first game.
There's not a single.
Bro, his first game with the Cardinals against the Super Bowl runner-up Niners, he had like 16 catches for 160.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Like, come on, guys. And he didn't drop a single pass.
You want to use them D-Hops after he got hurt after 2020? Cool.
Yeah.
2020? Nah, that's the last.
2021, he was still good, and then
if I remember correctly, 2020, it was kind of like people were saying the 2 best receivers in the league is like Tay and D-Hop, and they're both like right there.
Yeah, I remember them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think it was close, but that's what people was talking about.
Yeah, no, I just had to ask that just because I heard a birdie say that, and we are, people always say on our pod, we are the king of hot takes and this and that, blah blah blah. So I had to ask you that. But to go back to the draft talk, so Josh, I'm gonna start off with you. I seen a betting prop that Luther Bird now is like plus like 6,000 to go in the first round.
Plus 6,000. What?
Yeah, it's like plus like 6,000.
No, that's ridiculous,
bro. I'm literally. I'm
gonna just throw down about $2 right now.
I literally seen Ben talking about it on TikTok. It's literally on ESPN NFL. If you look at Luther at the bottom, that shit is literally. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
is that actually real?
So
I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be entirely shocked because I talked to Donnie about this like a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
See, so what teams right now are concerned with Luther Burns' character concerns. Apparently, he has some character concerns. I don't know where it came from, but it's been a widely reported thing. And then on top of that, you pair the character concerns with the fact that his production dropped off heavily this year, which obviously wasn't his fault. But teams don't care about that; they care about results. So, that's like the two pairings of doom, like the character concerns and the production. Teams are kind of scared of that. That's why it seems that he's going second round right now. And I've been saying it for like the past 2 weeks. So it just seems like he's going second round, unfortunately.
Donnie, you nasty for doing air quotes about character concerns, but you just used it for James Pierce Jr. Now I know you have the inside jokes, but that's nasty. That's nasty.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Paper James Pierce, you know this.
You can't pick and choose when you want to weigh character.
You consistent. You
can't
okay,
pick and
but
choose.
also the main difference is I know someone who works for Tennessee, so that's also different. Or
but guys that work for Missouri has been saying the same thing about Burden. So like, what difference does that make?
Okay, that I didn't know. I didn't know people from Missouri.
Guys around him because like they were literally saying that Missouri had to kiss his ass for him to stay because he just didn't want to be there. And he just
hey man, that's what Brady Cook does to him, man.
And Brady Cook played through a wrist injury, so he's even more.
Yeah, he was hurt all year, and then the backups can do anything.
Yeah, it just back combo.
But when you do a mock draft, you kind of get to realize that there's going to be a lot of guys that are graded first round are going to end up being in that early second.
Yeah, guys are going to fall.
Yeah, guys are going to fall. I just always find it interesting who's going to be the highest person on my board that's going to fall out of the first. I think this year it's probably going to be Luther though.
Mm-hmm. Maggot, what's his name? How you feel about Luther Burden as a prospect?
Yeah, I mean, I watched a little bit of film of him. I wasn't like evaluating. I was just trying to see get a gauge of who he is, what he plays like. I mean, I liked what I saw. Well, from what I can remember, he looks like a good route runner. I don't know any of his size, measurements or whatnot, but from what I saw, it looks like that he utilized it pretty well. Whatever he has on his wingspan, his height, yeah, no, I mean, I say a good player. I don't put no rankings or grades on him. So,
Norman,
I think I have Burden as my wide receiver 3. So I like him a lot. I have a first round grade on him. And I think the only reason why, I don't know why NFL teams are not high on him, but from a tape perspective, I know the character concerns, but I think he's a really good player. I think he's the best receiver in this class after the catch. He's a really good separator at all 3 levels. And for a guy that's smaller, he plays through contact pretty well. The only really thing with him is that he just he's not I guess he isn't a great run blocker and he doesn't really have a big catch radius, so he could be restricted to play more of a Z slot role, but I think he's still a really good player. I have a solid first round grade on him. He's pretty good.
Tia,
I like Luther. When you get past Trav as a wide receiver and you get to that tier 2, it gets real bundled up. I'm not really shocked he's going to go in the second round just because there's going to be a run of receivers. The NFL likes Emeka more. The NFL likes Tep more. The NFL likes Golden. There's only so many guys that are going to go in there, and there's a ton of other value. There's going to be a run of edge. So I think he's going to be an early second-round pick and a really, really talented wide receiver to add into a room. I just don't think he's going to be a wide receiver 1 in the league.
I mean, that's fine. I don't hate that. It's hard to be a wide receiver 1 in the NFL.
Trey?
In terms of the character concerns, I've heard some stuff, but if I'm being completely honest, again, the NFL has taken bigger risks on worse people. If you're telling me that essentially the biggest deal with this kid is he's a kind of a byproduct of the new NIL era, and okay, he doesn't want to run block, or he's not exactly the hardest worker. Okay, and like, like we're talking about a receiver. Yeah, you know what happens? You know what happens when you give a kid who's been the best athlete his whole life, 6 to 7 figures coming out of high school, to come play at a middling program? Yeah, he's gonna hold you. He's gonna hold your feet to the fire because he knows I don't necessarily have to be here. Like, it's
he could have transferred and he could have went to a really good school. I think anyone probably would have taken him,
and he would have got paid handsomely for it. So for me, I think the biggest thing is, okay, cool, right? In terms of him as a football player, there's not a lot he cannot do. I think the one question I had about him on tape was long speed with the ball in his hands, right?
Yeah.
Like, there are a lot of plays where you see him at Mizzou and he'll break into the open field and you think, okay, cool, about to be a 70-yard touchdown. And he gets hawked down every once in a while. But outside of that, the kid can run routes. He can play on the outside. He can beat press coverage. Like, he's a compactly built dude. So he's kind of got a running back build. So you can use him in the gadget game, screens, that type of stuff. He can go up and get it on occasion. There's not a lot the kid can't do on the football field. If you're telling me that, okay, like, the kid might have a little motivational issues or he might not be the hardest worker, okay, well, then that means some of these teams that have these workman-like receivers and some of these guys that have these veteran locker rooms, if you need a young spark in that room, y'all go take a risk on Buddy. Now, where you take a risk, I don't know. Might be in the back half of the first round, might be in top of the second. If I'm the Baltimore Ravens and Buddy is somehow there, I'm not trying to hear nothing about none of them character concerns.
Facts.
Ravens drafting a wide receiver. Come on,
I'm about to say, what DC Young Fly you say? Bring that at here, boy. Like, nah, like, what? We're not having this discussion. This is stupid. Like, no, like, all of that gets fit. All of that. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not working hard. Yeah, all that stuff gets fixed when you realize it ain't given to you no more. Like, when you get dropped in the fire and you got to deal with grown men, you gonna sink or swim. And worst come to worst, if he goes to a place like Baltimore or one of these other places where they're an established football team that is essentially Super Bowl or bust at this point, you being here really ain't that important. So if you don't work out, you don't work out. So again, it's just a matter of where you want to take it. You want to take him in the first round? Cool. You want to take him in the top of the second? Cool. But as a football player, there's not much that kid can't do. So, like, I don't know how y'all had it graded. I probably still have him above Matthew Golden, above Tet, even though, like, I think him and Tet are kind of like here. Like, well, actually, no, I take that back. To me, they're both kind of like tied. Those two have always kind of been neck and neck for me outside of Travis. Even though Travis is kind of his own little situation. Because truthfully, he is an unfinished product at both of his positions, which is scary to say.
Considering the fact that he's the best at both positions.
Yeah, considering the fact that he's the best at both, he's very much so an unfinished product at both of those positions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, at the end of the day, a lot of this character concerns and all the stuff that we end up talking about with the draft stuff, a lot of this stuff is just BS anyway, just to keep people
just keep them interested.
Yeah, to keep people enticed until Thursday. Like, the NFL don't care. They really don't. Like, he'll be all right. So,
Donnie.
Yeah, I think the Tet thing is interesting. Like, I was a big Luther over Tech guy over the summer, but what kind of made me change my mind on that was mainly just due to the fact that I really thought Ted added an element of yak that I didn't really see in 2023. Like last year, I thought he added an element of after the catch, which is, that's something you like to see out of a wide receiver to his size at 6'5", 210, 215, whatever he is. So I don't know about that. I mean, about Luther, I feel like everyone kind of covered it pretty well. He's still my wide receiver 3. I'd still take him over, Emeka and Golden. I think obviously Travis is better than him, and I think I'd take Ted over him too. But yeah, I think he's the 3rd best receiver in the draft. Everyone kind of covered it, how special he is after the catch. I mean, my confirm this entire time has been, what if Debo was a better route runner and didn't drop the ball a lot? That's basically how I kind of view Luther. Now, is that a wide receiver, your classic X wide receiver 1? No, it's not. But in my opinion, also, I think there's only 2 guys that really have a really good chance of becoming the team's number 1, and that's Travis, if he sticks to wide receiver, and Ted. Maybe some team could pull it off of Luther, but his height is always going to limit him because, considering he's not even 6 foot. And Trey actually brought it up. He does have a weird build. It's about 5'11", 210 pounds. It's like Jamar Chase except 2 inches shorter. Like it's a little bit strange of a build, and he's not as strong as Chase.
I mean, Malik Neighbors gonna have a similar.
He just kind of has a weird build. So I don't know how it'll work, but if a team uses him right, he's a special player. That's all.
He's a perfect H. You throw him in the slot. You give him a two-way go. He can run the crossers because of that build that you just talked about. Like if one of these linebackers or safeties tries to hit him over the middle of the field, okay, cool. If one of you lazy motherfuckers try and give him a little shoulder, he gonna bounce off and keep running. Yep. So it's like there's a role for guys like him in the NFL. And hell, prime example, our favorite slot guy, Amon Ra. Like that's all he is. It's okay, cool. We run routes, we catch this ball, we get hit, and because we have great play strength, we don't go down when we get hit. Like there's value in that. Like even if we don't think he's not a top this or he's not better than that guy, the reality is he's putting up like what 1,300 a year, and he's the main target in his offense. So yeah, like cool. There's a role right there. Boom, you got it. Yeah.
All right. Donnie, we'll start with you. Does now seem like Ashton Jeanty's the favorite to go to the Jaguars. How we feeling about that?
Look at Donnie's.
Dude, just Jacksonville. Just keep it simple, man. And I love Jeanty. And listen, at the end of the day, is he a better football player than Mason Graham? You can argue it. Jeanty, I have at 3 on my board. Jeanty, I have at 3. Graham, I have at 4. They're top 5. They're both top 5 players in the draft. The main difference is the biggest hole on your roster by far, not close. We're talking a big gap. It's defensive tackle. You paid money for wide receiver. You paid money for offensive line. You paid money for your secondary. The one thing you did not spend money on was your defensive line, mainly the interior, because you have Josh and Trayvon at edge, so you'll be good there. Eric Armstead alone is not good enough. Mason Graham is quite literally probably the safest player in this entire draft because he's going to go in and be a damn good player for a long time. Is he ever going to be Hall of Fame elite? Probably not. He's going to be a damn good player. Don't overthink it. Just take Mason Graham. It's not that hard.
True.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with Donnie here. Can we ask why they want Jeanty all of a sudden?
I don't know. Travis Etienne's on the line.
Because they put Etienne behind a bad offensive line, and they got mad that he didn't produce. So
I mean, they want Jeanty because he's a top 3 player in the draft, and they know that if you draft the top 3 player in the draft, he's going to pan out.
Okay,
I agree, Josh, but just
okay.
I personally wouldn't do it if I'm Jacksonville, but I mean, Liam Cohen's trying to build.
I just think Mason is borderline the same. Obviously, not the same player, but in terms of where they are, they're not that far apart, and one's a clear bigger need. So I don't know, man.
Ooh. Huh?
So now it's not.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying, y'all.
No,
Bro,
that's
people
different.
always
That's
talking
different.
about
Jan.
the
That's
value. The
different.
value is Ashton. Jeanty.
That's different because they're basically, dude. One's third on my board and one's fourth. Except the one difference is
Their difference here is
he
the player.
tackles a way bigger need, way bigger. So the quality of player is virtually the same, if not slightly worse.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie.
This
I'm not
is
gonna lie.
not
There's
the same. This
there.
is not the same. This is not the same at all. No, this is not the same.
I don't
Because
think the quality of players-
Bowers was a top 5 player, and you took him at 13, and these are both top 5 players, and you're both taking them in the top 5.
Also, the Raiders desperately need running back.
One is a clear bigger need.
Yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Them they need, I swear, they
I don't know what we're acting like. Jeanty's necessary.
Yun, let me ask you something. Was there a corner in that draft on Brock Bowers' level as a prospect? Because the answer is no. No, there
No,
was not.
he's talking, bro. He's talking about this year, bro. I think he's talking about this year.
No, he said was tight end
took Bowers. No,
that's true. Tight end was not a need.
That's true, but go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
Quinyon Mitchell was still to me, Quinyon Mitchell was clearly a top 10 player in that draft. And he panned out to be one of the best corners in the league.
For sure. But as a prospect, the gap between those two and then Mason Graham and Jeanty, Josh, come on.
I mean,
come on, Josh. Josh, don't. You come on.
I love listen, I love
Come on.
Mason Graham. I promise you I love Mason Graham. But I'm telling you, I think there's a clear gap between him and Jeanty. I think there's a clear gap. I feel like because of his size, he has limitations. And for his size, he's not like Mason Graham is an explosive player, but he's not an explosive athlete at the defensive tackle position, which limits his ceiling. That's why I think that.
I agree. I just said all those things. I agree.
Yeah.
But I know he's going to be a good player for a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a way bigger need, and the gap between them is much smaller than the gap between whoever the hell you thought CB1 was last year and Brock Bowers.
So Donnie, if the Raiders took Will Johnson instead of Ashton Jeanty, are you mad at that?
If the Raiders took who?
Will Johnson
instead of Ashton Jeanty? No, I'd be more on board with that than Jeanty. I can't lie.
I want the Raiders to go get Jeanty, but
Yeah, I guess it also kind of depends. Like,
Johnny Merrick?
yes.
Oh, Will Johnson?
Yes.
It seems like the league almost consensusly has Jeanty Barron CB1, sadly.
CB2.
Oh, no, I forgot Travis Hunter exists. Okay, Travis Hunter's an alien. I don't even rank. Travis Hunter's not a position. He's an alien.
Wait, so when Johnny become better than Will?
Okay, the league thinks that. I don't think.
I mean, if you're including the medicals, I get it because there's bad medicals apparently, but
Yeah,
we don't fully know that.
I'm asking Tegan.
Okay, so here's
Tegan, you think Johnny's better than Will Johnson?
I got him as the same tier.
Ooh, okay.
I don't disagree with that actually.
I think with the thing with Jeanty that I'm so high, the thing with Jeanty to me is the slot corner position in the NFL's value has just skyrocketed. These guys are getting paid serious, and it's the reason why slot guys were getting so much production is there's no one really guarding them or capable of doing it at a super, super high level. Not everyone has a corner that can travel. Not everyone has a slot guy that they could trust. And we're seeing a lot of the top teams have a guy. I would say consensusly, most of the best teams have a really good nickel corner that they could play in the slot. And the thing with Jeanty, you could put him on the outside. He could tackle. I just love the versatility that a good defensive corner is going to be basically put him anywhere. And specifically with the Raiders, why I think it would make a ton of sense is just if you go look at that division, I mean, there's some if I'm remembering correct, there's some guys in that building from the Chiefs. At least they're seeing what happened with McDuffie and the impact he had on that defense. They need a guy like Jeanty, and I think he's going to have that type of impact on a defense, like a McDuffie, like a Brian Branch.
Yeah, I mean, I said on the pod before, but like every year, some slot corner in the draft got underrated, fell in the draft, got drafted, and is a Pro Bowl caliber player. Trent McDuffie in 22, Brian Branch in 23, and last year Cooper DeJean. They all fell in the draft, and they're all panned out about as well as you can ask for. So
but Donnie, you want to?
I think this year it's going to be the same thing with Barron, except now I think the league knows, hey, we have to take him seriously.
But you want to know what's crazy, Donnie? The one slot type corner that was actually drafted high. You know what team he was drafted by, right? The Seahawks. And guess who's their former coach? Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's now with the Raiders. So that connection aligns.
Did they bear into the Raiders? Is that what you're saying? I mean, I
could see it. I could very much see it.
I wouldn't bet on it. But
He also selected Devon Witherspoon super high.
Yeah,
that's what I'm referring to.
And Spoon wasn't expected to go that high. Spoon was
no, he wasn't.
Like, outside top 10 to like creeping into.
I mean, I remember that draft because I had a buddy who, I don't know if I should be saying this, but I'll just say it anyway. It was years ago. I had a buddy who worked for the Lions, and he told me that the Lions at 6, they wanted Witherspoon. That's who they were going to take. But then,
that was a big rumor.
Seattle stole him from them, and then they freaked out and panicked, and then they traded down to 12 with Arizona, and then they ended up taking Jameer. So
it wouldn't shock me if the Jaguars are trying to bait Jeanty and have the Raiders try to jump up or someone to go get them like that. It would be such bad process for them. Even if they don't like ETN, they still got Tank Bigsby. Donnie, I think you're dragging it with the defensive tackle because that offensive line is still a problem. That secondary is still terrible. It is not miles and miles ahead of every other need because I promise you that there's a lot of problems with Jacksonville. And I think they would really benefit from trading down and getting more assets in a draft like this.
That's fair, but in my opinion, in terms of the biggest need, when you combine that and the best player available, I think when you combine everything together, I just think Mason Graham should be the pick. That's just me.
My thing is if you paid T-Law all that money and he still can't have an offensive line, that's a big need. Go protect your guy that
I don't know why Membu
so much
was
money.
not being mocked at all to the Jaguars. I'm pretty sure
he was like a month ago, and then they just kind of stopped.
Yeah, like the odds are probably like in the 2000s, or I don't know how.
Yeah, I can check FanDuel real quick.
That's ridiculous. Because is Walker Little playing left sider currently?
Yeah.
Membu, like why wouldn't they be interested?
NFL draft, the 5th overall pick. Armand Membu is plus 2200. Kelvin Banks has Kelvin Banks has higher odds, which is
that's ridiculous.
Dude, just trade down and get Josh Simmons. Franchise saved. You're fine.
Yeah, we have modern medicine just like DOS.
Okay, that's correct. Anthony, no.
This is crazy.
No, that's crazy.
Be Saquon.
I don't think people in here understood how good Saquon was.
This time of year,
Saquon was getting Barry Sanders comps, guys.
Bro, it's crazy. I just
was Barry Sanders, bro.
Funny part is, I just seen somebody comment on my IG and say Ashton Jeanty was better than Saquon.
That is crazy.
He's better at what?
Like, Saquon's the best running back I've ever seen. Like with my own eyes.
He's better at being shorter. That's about it.
Like
that's like he danced better.
Like I don't know, maybe
what does Jeanty do better?
He's maybe a better receiving back. Maybe.
No, I mean, so we got people think Todd Gurley's better.
I said maybe, Trey. I said
I don't even think that's true. No,
he's not. No, it's not even a maybe. No, it's not.
True.
It's not even close. He does nothing. No, stop it. Like, and I'm saying this as somebody who wasn't like Trent. You can attest to this. I wasn't the biggest Saquon guy when he came out.
But you sad. You so sad with it, bro. So sad.
It was
he wasn't high on BTJ.
Huh?
No, that's Donnie.
No, Donnie.
No,
I'm saying Trey wasn't that high.
No, that's just hate that Trey.
No, Trey used to kill me.
I wasn't high.
He wasn't that high on Saquon, but was super high on Bijan.
Okay, so this is the thing. I had to come. One, Saquon finally leaned into the fact that he was 230 because that was my biggest issue with him when he was in college. Was the fact that you're 235 pounds and you almost never ran behind your pads. Like, as a running back, that's especially a dude who's that fast that can move laterally the way he did. That was literally the only flaw in his game, and it drove me mad because you leave yards on the field when you don't do that. Like, even the best running backs who are the guys who break long runs understand, hey, not every run has to be a home run. Sometimes I just need to lower my shoulder and get this first down. And he did not do that. And there was so many times where he left yards on the field doing it, which is why it bothered me to watch him. But as a singular talent, he's one of the best that has ever played. And now that he's matured as a runner, if you watch him now, he's much more decisive. He does run behind his pads. He will run you over and then the next play will break a motherfucker ankles, then jump over him, then hurdle a motherfucker backwards. Like he has figured out his game.
Like, what is Groupie talking about?
Yeah, what type of questions am I seeing?
Like Ashton,
I mean, wait, whose O-line is elite, Grippy? Because all the teams he's getting drafted to, no O-lines are elite.
Ashton Jeanty does not belong in the same caliber of prospect as Saquon Barkley.
He's closer to Bijan. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's much closer.
He's not even close to that.
Whoa.
That I disagree with.
Whoa.
I'm talking about from the Ashton. We're talking about both the two dudes we're talking about. Both of them are 6 feet tall, 220 something pounds, versus a guy who's 5'9", 215 or 216, something like that.
With the most booted contact balance you ever see.
It's a different It's a completely different body type. So that's why I'm like those comparisons. Hey, leave that shit alone. Let him be his own player. Don't start comparing him to freaks of nature who are out here running fucking like slant and goes and then breaking 70-yard TDs. Like, chill out. Like,
so Norman, how you feel about Jeanty being the betting favorite to go to the Jaguars?
I would probably, if I were them, still go Mason Graham, and I think Jeanty's like a tier better to prospect too. I think I hold Jeanty in pretty high regards, not like Saquon level regards. Like that's kind of crazy, but like I have him like it's a third best player in this class. But at the end of the day, I just think like interior is just such a bigger need for them, especially because their best interior player right now is Eric Armstead, and he's like older. Like I don't know how old Armstead is, but he's older, and they still don't have anyone else besides him. Like I think it's just a much bigger need. And I think Mason Graham's still like a great prospect. Like I have him like fourth on my big board. Like he's still really good. So I don't know. They might take Jeanty. I'm not really sure what they're gonna do with that pick.
Matt,
what was the question?
So how you feel about Jeanty being the betting favorite to go to the Jags now and be a top 5 pick?
Oh yeah, no, I can just tell all of you right now that that's not happening.
Young.
No, I mean, I get it. I don't agree with it. You know how I feel about running backs in the first round, but I get it. That's if they think he's a game breaker and they see what Saquon did, they see what Jahmyr Gibbs has done, they see what Bijan's done. Liam Cohen's going to want to get his game breaker. He just had Bucky, who was a beast. So he's going to be like, hey, I have a chance to get what people are saying is the next Bijan, the next, hybrid of those guys. He's going to try to do it. But I don't know. Where's Donnie at? Because this logic is getting crazy.
It's not even the same. Like that logic is not even the same.
Donnie, but listen. You told me don't pass up on generational players and best player available. Correct.
I have said that, yeah.
Why? What is wrong with the Jags taking a generational player?
No, there wouldn't be anything completely wrong with it. I would much rather do Mason Graham.
Why?
So, why? Why would you pass on a generational player?
I think the gap between them as prospects isn't far enough to where the need is.
But
you don't need a running back.
Do you think the positional – this is my point. You're proving my point. The positional value gap is tremendously bigger than that gap.
Yeah, but it's not proving your point because there's a difference between being picked at 13 when I think you're a top 5 player and then 2 guys who are both in my top 4.
But
I just think there's that's
but you have to
be different because Bowers I thought was a top 5 player in that draft and he fell to 13 because of his position.
So again, you felt like he was a top 5 player, and you're like, you take the best player available though.
With the Raiders? Well,
period.
The Raiders or the
That's you because you said the same thing about Jahmyr Gibbs. Best player available, take him.
I did not say that about Jahmyr Gibbs.
Was Jahmyr Gibbs a good pick to you?
No. That pick caught me off guard. I had my reaction to that pick. I'll send you it. I was sitting there speechless for 5 minutes.
But you think it was a good pick? You think it was a good pick?
Right now or back then?
Right now.
right now, I mean, yeah, it's a good pick. It wouldn't be the best possible pick, but it was a good pick because he changed their offense.
Do you think Ashton Jeanty would change the offense of the Jaguars?
Yeah, and I also think Mason Graham would change the front four for the Jaguars.
I don't. Do you think Jared Verse would have changed the front four for the Raiders?
Oh, of course. Well, I mean, yeah, with Malcolm Kuntz getting hurt, yeah, of course, because he would have played. Because the problem with them taking Verse in the past was they had Malcolm Kuntz, who just broke out with a 10-sack season, and they had Max Crosby. They just signed Christian Wilkins to a huge deal. Like, they were never going to take an edge rusher.
But they just took a tight end in the second round the year before, and they still took a tight end.
I mean, yeah, that's true, but I mean,
to me, it's just
that's true. But the rules are also completely different. Like Mayer and Bowers are not the same player.
I agree. I'm just saying I don't think ETN and Jeanty are the same players, and I think you would agree with that too.
Well, yeah, of course. I don't think it'd be a bad pick. Like if they took Jeanty, I'd be totally cool with it. I would just much rather have.
Why you shake your head like that, damn? If you ain't cool, like
because I would much rather have Mason Graham.
So you don't really. So you're not really rocking with the pick though.
Just because I'm not rocking with it doesn't mean I wouldn't be okay with it.
Looky.
It's just to me. I'm trying to understand if you would like. Would you have been mad if they would have taken Jared Verse over Brock Bowers
at the time?
Just based off of how you believe in best player available, not how everything turned out.
So, like at the time, if they would have done it, I mean, I would have
because that's my only issue.
I mean, but like, Young, the thing is I would have just. I don't know. I don't know.
Positional value. You value positional value, but then you flip and say, "Well, Brock Bowers was the best player
because
available."
I think beyond because you need to find a medium when you are a valuable player. But you are that good of a player like Brock Bowers, then yeah, I think that's worth it. And also, there's different draft classes. Last year's draft was extremely top heavy. I had like 7 blue chip grades last year. This year I have 3. This draft is significantly worse than the top. That's why Jeanty's getting pushed inside the top 5. Jeanty last year probably doesn't even go in the top 10. He probably doesn't even go in the top 12. This year he's going top 6 at worst probably.
So was Brock Bowers one of your blue chips last year?
Yes.
Is Jeanty one of your blue chips this year?
Yes.
So again, you're confusing me. Why would you not take your thing is take the best player available, regardless of position value?
That's not always Jan. It's just like I said, there needs to be a medium.
Well, what is the other medium? Because to me, tight end and running back,
you need to balance out. Jan, that's the thing about the draft. You need to balance out whether we need this one position really badly, but this other player is better, but it's also a position either 1 we don't value as much or 2 we don't need as much. That's the whole point about the draft.
Did the Raiders need a cornerback badly last year?
Of course. But they decided to go to the route of we wanted the BPA, and that's what they did. I could have said last year Arizona's biggest need was tackle because it probably was. But they said, we view Marvin Harrison Jr. as better than Joe Alt, so we're going to take him. It's the same thing.
No, Joe Alt and Marv, I don't think it's the same thing. But I do understand what you're saying. To me, because this is the same thing with Penei Sewell and Jamar Chase. You're not passing up on
right.
My thing is just you understand positional value, which is why you're saying, you said earlier, they need to fix their defensive front. They don't need running backs. Correct.
Yeah. And if they wanted a running back, I mean, you could get one later on. Like, there's how many running backs in this draft are going to produce?
A lot.
How many defensive tackles are going to produce? Also a lot. But I also think the D-tackle draft is not nearly as good.
So why would Jeanty be pushed? Why would we take Jeanty high in general then?
Because the draft in terms of top heaviness is just bad this year. There's not a lot of top heavy guys. Like, look at last year.
I completely. I'm just saying, if you just said you could still get really good running backs later, why would Jeanty go high to anybody?
Ask the NFL, man. I don't know.
All right, so look, JJ.
Yo, Mr. I don't talk current events. You lying?
Yo, JJ.
Yo.
Yo.
JJ,
yeah.
How you doing? JJ, how you doing?
Great, bro. How y'all, man?
In a minute, JJ.
You know, it's your fault, man. Yeah, he kicked me off the show for like 2 months, man. This is what it is.
Word, chat. Yeah, if y'all don't know what he been trying to pull, chat. Anyways.
Hey, Young, keep cooking, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been peeping, Young. Keep talking about that Todd Gurley, man. Keep pushing that prop, man.
Yeah,
sad.
Yeah, he just ore farming, but
welcome to college.
Nah, JJ. Before we get to this next topic, how you feel about Jeanty being the favorite to go to the Jags now?
He favored to go to the Jags?
Yeah. Yep.
You don't talk current events, bro.
You lying.
I'm dead serious. No troll.
T-Law season, man. We back. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. You put a good running game behind the talented passer like that, boy, oh boy, Trey. I know you gonna be over there mad. Talk about that boy. Talk about he should have been number one.
With generational running back.
Wait. Why would I be mad?
Because you know you said T-Law not supposed to be number one.
No. This is what I said.
Oh, okay.
T-Law, as talented as he is, has given us a total of 1 full season worth of good games.
Good cook.
Like that the generational talent has not turned into a generational football player.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. That's the only gripe that I have. The generational talent is still there. The problem is, after about 2 years, that generational talent shit is over with.
Yeah, it don't matter. I'm with you, but guess what? Guess what, though? Guess what? You added another generational talent behind him, though? Ooh, man, BTJ, Ashton, Jeanty.
How's the Jags line? I be forgetting. I'm not gonna lie.
The Jags line is not good.
It's not good.
Dookie. But you
No,
know,
like,
Jeanty don't need no good O-line.
Like maybe average, probably. I don't know.
It's like mid.
Yeah.
Nah,
at least they got like a good coordinator now, good play caller.
Damn, I wish they didn't let go Evan Ingram. I wish they didn't let him go, bro.
I mean, he's about to be.
Oh yeah, he's in Denver now, isn't he? I forgot about that.
Yeah, he is. He's in Denver. That's gonna be good for Bo Nix.
He's about to be 30, dog. You can't keep holding on to that. He's
about to be 30.
Yeah,
about to be 30.
This nigga's gonna be dirty in Denver.
Damn, bro, we getting old.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was my year, bro.
Yeah, we're getting old, bro. This is crazy. I remember when he first got drafted, but that shit is wild. Not gonna lie. Nah, that is crazy. Okay, but moving on. Keep talking about a little bit of the draft before you can move on. Talk about NFL shit or whatever, like actual NFL players. JJ, who do you think are the potential teams that can trade up, like just in general, to get a player?
Ooh, oh my gosh, wow.
I hope no one steals mine.
Who can trade up? Well, I gotta see. I gotta think about who's in like that middle of the pack range for one. Like the Jets can trade up, and they like where they at right now? They at like 9 or 10 or below that.
7.
No, 7.
Nah, they can still trade up. I'm not gonna lie. Loki, they can trade back too. Honestly, bro.
Who?
I can see the Texans trading up.
To where though?
Ooh.
I can see them because they
trade up for a tackle.
Yeah, they need one bad. They need a lot of things though, but like I could see them getting to like towards the middle of the pack. If not, if they really selling, they could probably get to like 12, in my opinion. But it depends. I gotta go look at the teams that's at that area.
Maybe 15 with the Falcons because they don't got many picks.
All right, Young.
I think early it could be like the Saints could trade up. I think New York could trade down if they get a good deal. Saints trade up to go get the quarterback Shadur. The Raiders, somebody late. I think Buffalo can trade up to go get somebody. I know Donnie hints towards that in his stuff before this last mock. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think a lot of teams are going to trade because most teams are trying to trade down. I think if a guy wants their guy, they're going to go get him. Pittsburgh, I think, might trade up. And I think somebody's going to trade up for a quarterback at the end of the first round.
32.
I'm starting to think somebody's going to take a chance on Milroe. I don't think.
I agree.
He's right in New York, bro. I think
He's a lamb.
Somebody's gonna do it. They as much as I say he's RB2, he's extremely explosive, and he has a. I mean, if you really want to be honest, it's Jeanty and Milroe or Hampton. Who are you taking?
Wow.
I'm taking Milroe over Jeanty. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's besides the point. Somebody's gonna try to bet on the talent, especially one of those teams that think they have like a lot of structure, and just say we're gonna sit them and try to develop them. Let's try to get our Lamar Jackson. He said some crazy stuff on that. I don't know if y'all saw his interview where he said he's faster than Lamar Jackson.
Who
is that? Really crazy?
Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
No,
crazy.
That's
crazy. It's not. If we're talking about straight, we talking about just speed.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think that's crazy.
I don't think that's crazy. I'm not trolling.
I don't think it's that crazy either.
But he also said
we're talking about two guys who'd run an easy 4.3. Like
we're talking about just them just like I'm not gonna lie. That Milroe game versus LSU in 2023, bro, he was bro.
I'm gonna be real.
Lightning speed, bro. Like
if I had to take a random guess, I think Lamar run like a low 4.3 or a high 4.3 to a low 4.4. I mean a low 4. Yeah, low 4.4. And I think Milroe run like a low 4.3 and like crack that 4.2 speed. I'm not gonna lie to you, straight up.
So you think Milroe's faster than Lamar?
I definitely think that.
I'm not gonna say 4.2, but bro, I'm not trolling. I actually think Milroe's faster.
I can literally see a world where if Milroe ran a 40, he's running a 4.33.
When it comes to just
Milroe run like a 4.39.
I think when it's just talking about like obviously Lamar is like I think he's way more agile than him, way more quick. Like that's obvious. We're just talking about speed, like and they break out a run. Who's running? Who looks faster? I think Lamar Jackson. I think
I don't think Lamar would be looking faster than Jalen Milroe. I can't even lie to you.
Don't fall for the Isaiah Pacheco bait. Don't.
No, that's not just running hard. That's not running hard.
He don't do that.
No, people think Isaiah Pacheco is running hard because he's just doing a lot more. Lamar is so smooth; it doesn't look like he's running fast.
But that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. I'm not even because Milroe don't even be doing that. Milroe just get up out of it. That's what I'm saying. Like
Lamar Jackson,
he really just get up out of there. He really
we're talking about two fast guys. That's all I'm saying. We're just talking about speed. Like
we're debating Sonic and the Flash, like bro.
Like speed, bro. I might go Milroe, and it's crazy because he is bigger than Lamar, moving like that. Like that's kind of crazy.
That's what I think teams are going like. Teams see that. Nah, I don't agree with it, but get a fifth-year option. Somebody will trade up. Pittsburgh, Giants, like you said, maybe Cleveland. Somebody's going to go to it.
So
I think if Dable felt better about his job security, I think he'd try to have the Giants trade up. Just because he's worked with those projects in the past, but because of his job security,
to get Milroe.
What?
To get Milroe?
Yeah. I mean,
we think the Giants
I don't think it happens. I don't think it happens because. Well, I mean, it's just because his job security is so up in the air right now. But if he was safe, I think he'd consider it.
No, what was you saying, JJ?
I was asking Donna, who does he think they were taking with the early pick, but Josh already answered it.
Yeah,
Abdul.
It's either Abdul or they trade down, I think, at this point.
Or they take Shador.
They'd be dead.
I guess they could.
If they take Shador at 3, I'm gonna be laughing for years, man.
So Norman, who you think?
Y'all trading back if they do that, Josh?
Norman, who you think is a potential team that can trade up?
I don't think I really have a team that hasn't been mentioned yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would really just be like the number one team that I think could really trade up is like New Orleans because Mickey Loomis has a lot of history with trading up in the past, and I also think they could fall in love with one of these maybe potentially they actually Shador somehow, and they want to jump other teams to take them, or they like someone like Tet. But I don't know, there's not a lot of teams that really haven't been mentioned yet that are trade up candidates for me.
Josh?
All right, so two teams to me come to mind. I feel like people are not going to expect me to say this, but Chicago and the 49ers. So when I look at it, both of these teams have a buttload of picks, and I don't think neither of their GMs are going to be scared to want to be aggressive and get their player. It said the Niners definitely would want to trade up. There was reports that came out 2 weeks ago that said that they wanted to be aggressive in this draft and move up because they have a buttload of those comp picks and stuff that they just don't need. And then Chicago, here's my thought process with Chicago, right? They really love Ashton Jeanty, and if they're in a position where they think that they can't pick him at 10, I wouldn't be shocked if they move up to like 4 or 5 to try to get him. I wouldn't be shocked at all.
All right, Trey.
I'm looking at the draft order currently. Truthfully, I could see maybe like Josh said, maybe the Bears try and trade up. Maybe the Raiders try and jump up 1 or 2 spots. Just with all this Jeanty hype rolling around, like, we got to go get our guy, and they pay a premium to jump up 3 spots and get duped or some shit. But truthfully, I haven't really thought too much about the trade movement. This draft is so weird in terms of the prospects. Like, I could see a world where there's like 7 trades. I could also see a world where like damn near everyone stays pat and just picks a guy at a spot. It's one of those years where I'm like, there aren't any clear cut like, oh, okay, this team really needs this type of player, or they really covet this guy. They're gonna mortgage this, that, and the third to go get, like, I don't really see it. So for me, it's like outside of those 2 examples, I'm kind of on trades.
I agree.
Donnie?
In terms of trades in general, I think if I'm betting on one thing to happen, it is Minnesota trading down, just because they currently only have 4 total picks, because they gave up so many picks last year to 1, get into the first, and then 2, trade up into the first after trading up from the second to the first to go get Dallas Turner. So they don't really have a lot of picks. So I think they're a team I could expect to trade down. And I bet there's going to be a good amount of teams calling the phones that are going to see if they can trade up back into the first. I mean, Jan mentioned it earlier. I think Buffalo's in a really good position to trade up just because they have so many picks. I mean, they have 10 total picks. They have, I believe it's 5 picks in the first 4 rounds. They have 2 second-round picks from the Stephon Diggs trade. So they had Minnesota's second-round pick. I think trading up for a Jahdae Barron or Will Johnson or even a D tackle would be awesome for them, just because, with how much zone defense McDermott runs, I think Barron would make a lot of sense. They have Christian Benford, who's the size at corner. Ty Johnson's their slot. I think they can get Barron on that defense. That would help a lot. I could see Walter Nolan getting another guy next to Ed Oliver, but I think Buffalo's in a good position to trade up, especially when Josh Allen, he's in his prime. They're trying to win a bowl. Go get a star player, and I think that'd be smart of them to do. We have a super chat, by the way, John.
Yeah, I'm about to look at it. Shout out Eagle Nation, my boy. He said this isn't the off season / draft time. It's more like Howie's season / Howie's draft. Ready to watch 31 other teams try to put their teams together and just to fight for their second place. # Howie we trust. Another super chat said this is why Howie will always be better than the other GMs. He builds his teams with a strategy that most think impossible until it happens. Outside of the Jalen Reagor year, I'm still smacking Howie for that. Yo, he's crazy.
I'm gonna be honest. We talked about this the other day. I don't think he does anything spectacular as a GM. Like, I think he's probably the best at just, this is a really good football player, I'm gonna take him. He doesn't Titans, y'all want to trade? Y'all want my first, and y'all want to give up AJ Brown? I'm gonna take him. Like, I think they just make the smart, I wouldn't even say they're smart, just the obvious moves. Like, at that time, you're essentially trading Treylon Burks for AJ Brown. And everybody was doing that.
Wait, hold on. And I want to touch on that specifically. because I hammer this point home all the time. All of these GMs are trying to galaxy brain their way into, positional value, and we got to take a guy here, and these are the premium positions. Everyone shut the fuck up. Here's what you do. You find good football players, and you take them. You take as many as you possibly can. Even the ones that other people had, they said, hey, we don't think this guy's that good. You say, hey, this guy did this one thing really well. Let's ask him to do that here and see if it works. And gee, what do you know? It fucking works.
Yeah.
All of you dweebs with your draft books and your stopwatches and your analytics, because you done paid for the PFF subscription. Hey, that shit down. This is a very simple game at the end of the day.
Yep.
Find the biggest, meanest, fastest motherfuckers who can process information at a high level. Find as many of them as you can, and then bludgeon your opponent to death. That is what football is.
Yep. And that's what
it don't matter. It don't matter what data you got. It don't matter how big and fast and strong these dudes become. It will always be the same game.
Yep.
Big, mean, fast, smart, bludgeon your opponent. That is it.
That's the thing is how he understands that better than a lot of those guys in the league. Like every year he drafts O-line. Every year he's drafting D-line. Why? Because that's where it starts. If you want to play that way of football, you can't win without it. You can't. Nobody's won without it. And guess what? He has misses, like Eagle Nation talked about, Jalen Reagor. He's had other misses, but he does the obvious moves because football is, like you said, is really simple. It really is.
Word. All right, moving on. Let's do these. We'll do a little bit of these like NFL now versus then whatever, like how we've been doing before we do this mock draft. So, Donnie, we'll start with you because you put this one, and I know you put this one. You put this one just for me and Young. I see why you did this, but rookie Brock Bowers versus rookie Kyle Pitts. Donnie, who you got?
Oh God,
I did. Man, I think rookie. I just want to start out with this. Rookie Kyle Pitts gets so underrated because there were so many bad jokes about him. It's like, oh, he never caught a touchdown pass on American soil because the only touchdown he had that year was when he was in London.
Yeah.
There was some bad moments with him. I think I'd probably lean towards Bowers. I think Bowers had the slightly better rookie year, but I think they're probably the two best rookie tight end seasons I've seen. I actually made a post about this on Twitter not long ago, and a lot of people, we're done with the 70s, 60s, all that. A lot of people are like, yo, Mike Ditka, like, no, like all that conversation is stupid. These are probably the two best rookie tight end seasons I've seen, and it's a fun trend that you guys know this. Not a lot of rookie tight ends genuinely succeed right away. It takes a while for tight ends to really get going in the NFL. Like, there hasn't really been a lot of good rookie tight end seasons, and there's been a lot of year two breakouts at tight ends. Like, George Kittle broke out year two, Travis Kelce broke out year two, Trey McBride broke out year two. Yep. Like, all those guys broke out year two. So it's an interesting trend. So it's pretty rare to see a tight end, go for 1,000 yards in his rookie year. I think it's only happened 3 times, I think. So not many. I had to lean Bowers, though, but it's a coin flip to me. I thought Kyle Pitts was super underrated.
Trey?
It pains me to say this because he a op, but it's probably Bowers. It's probably Bowers, but Donnie is correct. Like, for as much as people talked about Kyle Pitts being,
I don't want to give up on Kyle Pitts. I don't.
I'm sorry. You're not going to get me to give up on Kyle Pitts until I see him go to another team and him somehow still not be what people thought he was. Because the reality is both of them are essentially the same type of player. They're not the same guy, but they're the same role. You are essentially a weapon. You are not a real tight end. Like Brock Bowers, you are a shitty blocker. The same way Kyle Pitts, you are a shitty blocker. Y'all are not meant to be inline blockers. Y'all are big slots that can play on the outside every once in a while. Y'all are receiving threats. Y'all are tight ends in name only. To have 1,000 yards as a rookie tight end in the NFL and your quarterback is the washed version of Matt Ryan, like, yeah, we need to do it. We need to get that man a little more credit. That QB situation in Atlanta has been dog shit for a long good minute. Like it's been bad. And that's not when you have a guy like that, that's not a great environment for him to grow in. I would personally like him to go somewhere else because I think that would be better for his career. Like I see him the way I saw Evan Ingram. Like it was okay, cool. The Giants drafted him, and Jason Garrett thought it was a good idea to line him up in line and have him block 270-pound six techs. Like that's fucking stupid. He was a slot receiver in college. Do what they did in college. Throw him in the slot and throw him the ball, especially when you don't have no goddamn receiver.
Josh,
I'm back. Well,
Josh, who you got, rookie Bowers or rookie Pitts?
Rookie? Huh?
Like
their first year, Bowers versus Pitts.
Yeah.
I think like it's planets away. Planetary devastation, man. Bowers clears.
That's crazy.
I don't know about clears. That's
As a rookie, Bowers clears.
That man said planetary devastation. That's crazy.
Yo, Norman.
Because that's planetary devastation, gang.
Yo, Norman, who you got, Brock Bowers or rookie Kyle Pitts?
I got Bowers, but I don't think it's planetary devastation like Josh says. Like I think Bowers is comfortably better, but I still think like Pitts was like a top 5-ish tight end in the league in his rookie season.
It'll be okay, Yon, I promise.
And I also think that Pitts hypothetically still has like, to me, I think that coming out he had the higher ceiling. I just think still rookie year I'd take Bowers. Like I think he's just a more consistent target against zone, and I also think he's better after the catch too. Like I'm gonna take Bowers pretty comfortably.
And Trent, can you put that comment by Shoulders on the thing real quick, bro? Because I don't know what he just capped for. Kyle Pitts ain't got no wiggle.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've ever seen.
You never seen Kyle Pitts. Though.
I mean, yeah, but Matt, who you got? Rookie Kyle Pitts or Brock Bowers?
I think rookie Bowers was more productive because I think they just used him better than the Falcons used Kyle Pitts. I don't think he was player for player. I'm not gonna lie, if Kyle Pitts is used correctly, man, we're really talking about one of the best tight ends in the league.
Yo, Young, bro, what's going on,
bro? Somebody has to tell me why Bowers was better than Pitts.
I can't tell you.
The man, for everybody that likes stats, he did his production on 50 less catches. Jeez. What is the conversation? Neither one of them were really blocking. Neither one of them were contributing to wins. So what made Bowers better than Kyle Pitts? Rookie year Kyle Pitts. Probably the best route runner at tight end as a rookie. What made him Bowers better?
I think that's the only aspect of the game that Kyle Pitts was better at than Bowers' rookie season. I think Bowers is doing everything else better.
You think Bowers is better vertically than Kyle Pitts?
Blocking, which is important for tight
No,
ends.
not blocking. I think
Neither
that
one of them
Bowers,
were good blockers.
Bowers was better as a hands catcher, and after the catch, he was better. Again, that's a lot of that. It's due to utilization, but that's just the fact of the matter. I don't know how to evaluate. It's going to be really hard to evaluate.
Bowers has always just been one of the best after the catch tight ends.
Yeah, but it's just really hard to evaluate Kyle Pitts when his route tree is limited and you're not able to see what he can do after the catch when he doesn't have routes.
No. We're not talking about now. We're talking about rookie year Pitts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Rookie year Pitts was running routes like a wide receiver.
Rookie year Pitts, I still feel like wasn't maximized to his full potential.
I agree.
But his full potential.
That's why I think it's a hard eval. Like I just
his full. But this is the thing.
His full potential is not even close to the best tight end in the game.
It's gold.
Like, he literally has one of the craziest ceilings for a tight end ever.
So is
Brock
Brock
Bowers
Bowers I have a question. Was Brock Bowers just used to his full potential
this year? I mean,
yeah, he was.
Yeah.
So again, Kyle Pitts, who did not use his full potential, is giving you the same production as Brock Bowers on half the catches.
Same production. I don't.
I mean, he's got the same production yardage wise, is because he's so much more of an explosive athlete, especially with vertically.
You got to factor in touchdowns.
It's like people were not beating.
He has 4 more.
And I'm not factoring in touchdowns when people have Julio Jones as a top 6 receiver, and they just.
But there's context. There's like major context.
There's major context to Kyle Pitts not having.
I agree.
Exactly.
But there's way more context to Julio.
It's still context, man.
There's way more context to Julio, my opinion.
What's the context
for Julio?
Correct.
So I've spoken about this on like multiple podcasts. So when you have a guy like Julio Jones, who is as big as he is, just athletically and physically, he's a mismatch nightmare for guys in the red zone. Like just on a one-on-one fade ball, doesn't matter what he's running in the red zone. It's just he's uncoverable in a one-on-one situation in the red zone. So teams literally had to bracket this man in the red zone. And all-time receivers, we're not facing those same coverages except Calvin Johnson and Randy Moss in them. But besides the 4, nobody else is facing that in the red zone.
So, Josh, would you think Kyle Pitts is a red zone demon, one-on-one freak of nature, and nobody else is on his team?
I think if he was maximized to his full potential, yes, he could have been a mismatch nightmare in the red zone for sure.
But you're saying the reason I'm taking Bowers is because of top touchdowns, and then you're talking about how the Falcons didn't maximize him.
Yeah, they didn't maximize him, but that's why it makes it a hard evaluation. How am I supposed to convey that all of his skills from college would have translated seamlessly if he's not being maximized to his full potential? Like, I've seen glimpses his rookie year, but I feel like there's still.
I get what you're trying to say. It's like an incomplete grade.
It's an incomplete. Like I can't fully give a good grade on his rookie season because like it's incomplete. In a sense.
I mean, if that's but like to me, that would be the same thing. Like, you can't give an incomplete grade on a lot of guys, but you see the flashes just because they're not getting
I've
used
seen the
right.
flashes.
But
for sure.
you know he's not getting used right. Same thing like this. Caleb Williams. We know he's not getting used right, and we see the flashes. Does that mean you take Jared Goff over Caleb Williams?
No.
Would you take Kirk Cousins over Caleb Williams?
No.
Because you see the flashes, and you know what those flashes could really be at his full potential. That's just to me, like that's what loses me with Bowers. Like if you want to say Brock Bowers was maximized to his full potential and Kyle Pitts is incomplete, I get it. But like to just say Bowers had the better year, I can't disagree with.
I mean, we're talking about year though.
I'm saying as much as Pitts wasn't utilized, he gave you the exact same production as Brock Bowers.
Because I feel like when we're talking about years, I feel like the better individual year, I'm not even factoring traits when I say that. I'm just talking about the year itself. It was Bowers. And that's not because of Kyle Pitts' fault.
But what was it? Like, I'm saying, like, what made Bowers, just because he had more catches? Like, what is it? I'm trying to understand.
I mean, we're talking about, like, when we're talking about year, production is a major factor. Like, I'm not saying that, like, if we're talking about just individual player, rookie Bowers and rookie Pitts, I feel like that's a whole different conversation. But if we're talking about year, then production has to be a heavy factor in my opinion.
Okay.
I mean, I thought it would just be both. Would it not just be both?
I mean, I think that year-to-year play varies. In player evaluation, guys like young guys like that are only getting better. So, and like you can see, I just feel like year-to-year production and like just year performances and player just as a player overall, I feel like that's different. I feel like there's.
I mean, that's what I was kind of trying to say. Is like. Yeah. Like Bowers, I think, had the more productive year, but that's just because of the catches. It's because, Scott Turner was able to use Brock Bowers better
Was
than
Calvin
Arthur Smith.
Ridley on that Falcons team? I forgot.
He literally,
Yeah,
yo,
he
don't
was.
get me started. That man's a capper.
When at the year he did the down gambling shit?
Yeah.
Yo.
And he
Yeah,
claimed,
yeah,
mental
it
health
was. And
issues.
I don't think Julio was on that team either.
No, Julio
No,
got
Julio
traded
wasn't.
to.
Julio got traded
Tennessee.
already.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
hold
that
on,
was the
I'm-
first year without
hold
Julio.
on, I'm looking
Calvin
it up.
Ridley
They
had
traded
high
him out.
expectations, and he
Wait, hold
ended
on.
up getting suspended and getting through personal stuff. Like
Yeah, so
Kyle,
JJ,
Kyle Pitts was the target.
JJ, who you got?
You know
Ricky
when
Pitts?
Russell Gage, and Olamide is the kids are your 1 and 2 wide receivers, and Kyle Pitts is basically your main target for an old Matt Ryan. I wonder who's gonna score the touchdowns too, man. You know what I'm saying? I really do. Y'all said a lot about Julio comparing that, but then don't acknowledge that. And I think now that I look at it, it really is just a nasty work by Atlanta, and that boo boo franchise by not being able to get their guys in the red zone more often, man, and get them targets. You feel me?
That's your favorite team, by the way.
That's your team.
I don't
Quarterback.
know what y'all talking about, man. We Lions over here. Lions FC.
Yo.
Lions FC.
Bro, he pulled a young switch teams.
Oh, so that's why you were lying about Jared
I
Goff.
got 3 teams right now.
But like peep though, like for real though, there's I think back to all those games. There was the game against the Bills where Kyle Pitts was going off and he still couldn't score a touchdown. And all these red zone targets of him getting bracketed in the red zone, putting him outside, putting him in the slot, you can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? They gonna stick him straight up. You know what I'm saying? And so all this talk, you know what I'm saying, Brock Bowers this, Brock Bowers that, when you get force fed like Brock Bowers did, you're gonna end up with a better production, right?
Right.
And so with all that being said, I look at the guy that's clearly, stronger, faster, quicker off the line, better footwork, you feel me? Better route runner, better separator, better hands, just the list goes on. I look at that guy, he came out of Florida, you know what I'm saying? And, his name is Kyle Pitts Sr., so we're going to take him over there.
Senior.
Yeah,
Wait,
Kyle Pitts
come on.
Sr.
Yo, Shoulders, you being a bot, we're doing a versus. Like, who's the better player? We're not talking, like, that's what I'm saying. You talking about going into year 5. There's no point. We talking about the rookie versions, bro. Like, you being a bot.
Wait, Pitts is going into year 4. Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, she got
You're trying to
drafted.
bump him too
Oh,
long.
Bro, it seems just like yesterday I saw him go to the Falcons.
And then don't get me started because we're going to talk about the year 5, but then people don't want to acknowledge what happened to him the 2 years after that. He got quarterbacks getting him injured, you know what I'm saying? Don't want to talk about it. Lingering injuries, but, they're going to hold on to that. They're going to hold on
JJ,
to 3 years.
how about the taking routes off, though?
Huh? Oh, I mean, I can't speak on that. He's tired. You know what I'm saying? He's tired of it now. Like I can, he's tired. He's tired of all the. I've been saying he needed to change the scenery. I'm not gonna lie, because right after year 3? You know what I'm saying? This past year, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Year 3, he was already he was tired of it, right? But he was also dealing with a lingering injury. This past year, when they literally stopped targeting him for 3 weeks, I don't know what y'all expected. Like everyone's gonna check out of that mentally. I'm just being honest. So.
All right, JJ, I'm gonna start with you. Who do you think has the best regular season QB season ever?
Ooh, best regular season QB season ever. Can I go 30 for 30?
I typed this down.
You said what?
Can I go 30 for 30?
You're sick.
What is he talking about?
Jameis Winston.
Oh no, we gonna talk about James on the college football show because we get that's gonna be a good topic. But
Nah, yeah, for sure, Star Ghost. You're not lying. Neither QB situation is good. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't even lie to you. Yak is always gonna get you, further, especially in the production department too. And I'm never gonna take that away from Bowers. But you gotta acknowledge what it is when it comes to Kyle Pitts and the type of things that he does. The type of skill player he is. But best regular season QB.
Wait, are we talking about the best one singular regular season or the best regular season performer?
No, just the
one
best regular
season.
QB
Just the
season.
one
Ever.
season? Okay, bet.
Oh, Rodgers
That's
got like
fine.
4 of them.
Okay, well, I know my answer. I don't think anyone else is going to say that.
Lamar just had one this past year. Ooh, oh my gosh. Man, Trent, you shouldn't have had me go first on this, man. There's a lot of players. Peyton Manning. Jeez Louise. Give me 4 interceptions, Rodgers, man. MVP Rodgers.
Was that was 2021? Yeah.
2020.
2020?
He went like 45 and 4.
He went like 48 and 5.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yo, Young, who you got?
I say 2011 Rodgers. I mean, I'm not mad at 2020. I just think the 2011 Rodgers was you're getting that 2020 with more out of structure play. So that's what I think.
Matt.
I think it's 04, Peyton Manning. I mean, I went back and I watched that film like last year.
That's not even crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it was difficult to get a hold of it, but I don't know if I've seen a quarterback with better pocket presence than Peyton Manning in 04. Like he was really just, I can't even put to words like how many sacks this guy avoided while being like the unathletic Peyton Manning that he is.
The boy to the NFL, man.
Yeah, and not just that, like even if you want to look at statistics, this guy threw pretty much 50 touchdowns on I got a text Rodgers that
Yeah, bot shot talking about, bro. Whoever started that narrative, bro, that shit really used to cook.
That is so fake.
That was only like 1 year, bro, and I think it was the year he came back from injury.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, that joke is not 1 year.
After
That
2017.
joke is not 1 year. You see, here's the problem. He's talented. Aaron Rodgers is talented, but that is not 1 year. Rodgers is definitely just because you go 45-4 does not mean that in him throwing them 45 touchdowns doesn't mean he didn't have conservative tendencies. He definitely did. But that man.
Yeah.
Okay, I disagree, but we can talk about this a different time.
Yeah, we can.
If you see some of the throws Aaron Rodgers is making, you cannot be a conservative quarterback making.
If we want to talk about hold on, I want to say this. Hold on. I want to say this. If we're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers being conservative, in 2011, Aaron Rodgers led the NFL in big time throws and had the lowest amount of turnover-worthy plays.
Well, I'm not talking about 2011.
Like PFF stats are not.
2011 was
PFF stats are not. No, like I'm saying PFF stats are not. No one has ever done that. No.
2011, he was on a different timing. But like, listen, if we're being honest, I just think the way that Aaron Rodgers played, Aaron Rodgers literally found a way to beat the game in that 7-year span of him still throwing high amounts of touchdowns while keeping the ball out of harm's way. It's like it's unheard of. That's why folks love Aaron Rodgers as much as you did. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like he just didn't make risky throws. That's not what I'm saying. But for the most part, he could stay away from that and really drive down the field because of how much he picks apart defenses. They don't talk about that. You feel me?
Side note, it's so funny how Donnie be saying like he don't use PFF that much, and then anytime he bring up a football example, he brings up like.
But he works for PFF, bro.
And then I work from now. I can't say anything, okay? I can't say anything.
He works for
PFF. All right. See,
the thing that I won't say bothers me, but like, do people not understand most people's GOATs was a conservative playoff performer?
Brady, yeah, good cook.
He literally won a Super Bowl against the Seattle Seahawks, Legion of Doom, throwing checkdowns to James White most of the game. Quick three-step drop throws.
Yeah, I don't
young, and then they're gonna say that's my goal. Looking at
nah, but the thing is, there's nothing wrong with it, JJ.
It's just levels to it.
It's levels to it.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought we were talking about a different type of conservative.
It's levels to conservative play. There's conservative play.
No, I'm not even joking. The first time I read that, that's the first thing I thought of. That's what people talk about with Aaron.
Yo, Matt,
you're sad. You are sad.
Look, Matt, there's levels to conservative play, man.
Hey, Matt,
all I'm saying,
last week influenced me. I'm telling you.
All I'm gonna say is there's a difference between Tom Brady. There's a difference between Tom Brady conservative play. There's a difference between Tom Brady conservative play and Brock Brady conservative play. I'm just being honest. So we can keep it going. Like it's just levels to it.
I think they're both conservative. I just think one also gives you higher upside.
There's a difference between Tom Brady conservative play and Brock Purdy. Simple as that.
No, he's just trying to say like Alex Smith and Tom Brady aren't like the same level of like aggressive play. Like there's levels to it. Exactly. I don't agree. Like I think Rodgers is like more aggressive. Like I know like you're saying that he isn't Alex Smith, but I also I don't think he's as conservative as you're making him out to be.
Yo, Norman, who you think got the best QB regular season ever?
I think it's like pretty fluid and ambiguous. Like I don't have like a clear one, but like there's like 3 seasons that I think I would be most confident saying are the best. Either like 07 Brady, 04 13 Manning, and then it would be like 11 Rodgers. I think those are like the 3-4 seasons that you can really argue is like the GOAT peak. Personally, I'm a Patriots fan, so I'm biased. I'm gonna say 07 Brady, so that's just what it is.
Actually, I do want to get this shit off real quick about Peyton Manning in 2004. This guy had 4,500 pass attempts. Or
me 45? Me 450?
Yeah,
450. Yeah, 4, 5,
Yeah,
5, 7.
I'm mad.
And he threw a touchdown on 10% of those.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that too. Yeah.
This guy threw 49 touchdowns.
Yeah, every 10 pass attempts.
Every 10 passing attempts, he threw a touchdown, and
like,
and it's not even like he led the league in passing attempts that year either. This guy didn't have like historic volume or anything.
Yeah, and this was before QBR.
Stupid amount of
This was
touchdowns.
before QBR existed, and I know the leader of QBR all time. I think it's 07 Brady. If QBR existed back then, I think this probably would have been the highest of all time. It probably would have been.
I mean, to me, that's just like, goddamn.
Shoulders, listen. 18 Mahomes is closer to 84 Marino than 11 Rodgers.
You're cooking.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you kind of cooked. I can't lie.
I mean, also a lot of it's relative as well. It's also relative to the league at the time.
Yeah.
So.
No. Josh, who's your best season ever?
I'm taking 11 Rodgers, man. Just put it like I love 07 Brady, I love 04 Manning, but 11 Rodgers just takes the cake for me. Shout out to 84 Marino as well.
Trey.
So I'm stuck between 3. 2011 Rodgers, 04 Manning, and then the one we just saw this past season
From Lamar, yeah.
From Lamar, like that. That's the one. That's the one that I feel like needs to be talked about. And I hate the fact that he did not win MVP solely because I knew the moment he put up a season like that, if he doesn't win MVP because of whatever narrative or whatever biases that have existed against him since he's gotten in the league, we're not going to praise that season the way that we should. Because remember, we're talking about a guy that we called a running back, right? This is a guy that when he came into the league, everyone said, this guy cannot throw the ball from the pocket. This guy will not be successful in the league because he cannot do these things at the level that these other guys in the league can. Not only did he prove that he could do it at a high clip, he just did it at an historic level. And then just to add to it, yeah, also, I'm still a better athlete than all of you niggas. Like, and we're not going to talk about it because Josh Allen won MVP.
And he shouldn't have won MVP.
And he shouldn't have, but you know what? Cool. Shit happens. Steve Nash got one of them Jones that belong to Kobe.
Chill out.
I agree, but at least Nash had a real argument.
Yeah, look, hey, to some folks, Josh Allen got.
I don't. Only reason Josh Allen had an argument is because of the way Lamar won it last year. It was not because of his play.
It really wasn't because of the play. It really wasn't.
It wasn't because of the play. It
was
the narrative.
It really
last
was.
year, to be honest, Dak and Brock Purdy choked it away. And Lamar
Man, Brock Purdy beats the Ravens. He literally wins MVP.
He wins MVP.
Which I don't agree with either. But that's the thing. These are the same awards that people use to tell people that certain players are better than the other. But it's really just a narrative. It's the Associated Press. It's like you're letting the Associated Press influence your
opinion. Back to Lamar.
This is why I prefer the Heisman. By the way, I just want to get.
I mean, you saying that, but you was talking about all year long. Josh Allen MVP though.
Prefer the Heisman.
I mean,
and you don't prefer the Heisman over the MVP.
Look, this is my thing, right? Regardless of any of that, my point is 15 years from now, 20 years from now, there's going to be a whole different generation of people watching the sport. When we talk about greatest regular season performances from a quarterback, this past season from Lamar Jackson has to be in that conversation. Will it be in that conversation? I truly do not know. It might be in the conversation. It might be because there are enough people like me who watch it and who like enjoy watching Lamar that will sing his praises for years to come. But if the football community doesn't put it up there the same way that we talk about 2011 Rodgers or 04 Manning or 84 Marino or any of the crazy Mahomes years, like this might fall by the wayside, and it shouldn't, because truthfully, if we stacking it up against all of the other seasons, statistically, he's better than everybody else because he's doing the same thing you doing from the pocket, and he adding the run game into it in a way that none of y'all have ever been able to do it.
Bro, he went 41-4 and rushed for 900 yards on the ground and didn't win MVP. If that's not MVP, I don't know what is. Like that's just like that's literally just true. Like,
hey, that all I'm saying is those three, those are it for me. And truthfully, if I'm being honest, if we're going just by regular season performances, then yeah, I would have to say Lamar. It would be it would almost be unfair for me not to.
To be honest, I think that's, in my opinion, I think that's the only one that has an argument over Rodgers. In my opinion.
I don't think Lamar.
I think what Rodgers did was better than what all the other pocket guys did. I think the only way you can up that is what Lamar did in the air. He basically did what Rodgers did in the air, like you said, and gave you 900 on the ground.
Yeah,
And
I'm not gonna lie. If he gave 1,000, if he gave 1,000 and did 48 TDs, boy, I'm not gonna lie to you.
But the thing is, he
basically did. And you also have to factor in he's doing this with guys who we don't
respect.
Be like, yeah, no, honestly,
we don't respect them. I don't.
We do not. Even if we respect Zay Flowers, we don't fear him. Even if we respect Rashad Bateman at this point in his career, we do not fear him. There is nobody on that offense like catching the ball from him that we're like, hey, this guy is doing the heavy lifting when Lamar is throwing him the ball. Like it's more so of a partnership than anything else. And that's about as high as it goes. Because the best you can say is, okay, he's got Mark Andrews, who that is a partnership. Both of them have worked really well together throughout the years. But even with that, you're not going to say, hey, Mark Andrews is the one that's carrying, that's over here making the great catches, and he's saving Lamar. Like, that's not what this is. So if you're stacking it up against everybody else's regular seasons, yeah. Also, hey, Grippy, chill out.
Bruh.
He did a crazy sales job. That was nasty.
Yeah, he had a really bad playoff game. That's probably the worst performance from a tight end in a playoff game that's ever existed. However, he's not ass. That's going a bit too far.
Troy, you're forgetting about 2014 Brandon Bostic.
No, I'm not. I ain't forget about that at all.
Yeah,
saying he might be worse than Njoku is crazy.
Bro, I don't know what people
Bro,
say.
Mark Andrews hate just random. Actually, it's not random.
No.
It's not random. I get why. But to me,
he is the reason why he has his hate. And I'm not gonna lie.
No.
It's never gonna.
It's the same thing as like
win the Super Bowl.
He's going to have to win them a Super Bowl. Plain blank period. That's just what it is. So let's get into this mock draft though. Let's get to this mock draft so we can get up out of here and call it a day. This one got trades on it.
Yeah, we can do trades.
I bet we're just start it up.
Yeah, are we
I say let's do. I mean, do we want to do predictive or do we want to do what we would do?
I want to do what I want to do.
It's up to y'all, man. I don't care.
I say the smartest thing to do is actually do what we think is going to happen.
Okay, I'm down then. I mean, it's up to Troy and you're the host.
I definitely think that we should do what is going to happen.
Okay.
If we do what we want to do, this is going to look nasty.
I was about to say, if we do what we want to do, yeah, it's going to look crazy.
All right.
All right, so Trent, you got pick one, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I think what's his name? You got Cam Ward on Fortnite talking about his top 5 running backs is Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard. So like, you know what I'm saying? You might as well, feel me?
And we said Brian Callahan was the best coach in the league too.
He did say that too.
All right, Donnie, you got number 2. Who you going with?
Yeah. I think as each day passes by, I feel better about them taking Travis Hunter. Whether he's going to play DB, wide receiver, or both, doesn't matter. I think they're just going to take him. Andrew Berry has been talking about him for a long time. About how much he likes him. What do you say?
He said he's playing full-time receiver first.
Oh, well, then there we go. I mean, now you have your wide receiver 1. So there we go. I mean, they don't really need him at corner, though. Like, Greg Newsome is good. Denzel Ward, yeah, he's coming off a down year, but he's still good. Martin Emerson's coming off a down year, but he's still good.
They're gonna ease him in.
Yeah.
All right, Trey, you got you got the Giants. Do they trade down? They stay here? What you think they're doing?
A part of me still, for whatever reason, a part of me still thinks that there's a distinct possibility they take Shador here.
Really?
I still think it happens. I don't know, especially with the fact that it's kind of playoff or bust for them. The concept of them, the only way that will work is if you take Abdul Carter and then try and trade back in the first round. But that's too much of a risk. You'd be better off taking Shador, and then if you really wanted to trade back up in the first round to try and go get another player that you think that you need, then you do that first. But if you're Brian Dable and you're trying to secure your job, you have to have like a quarterback. And I'm sorry, J-Bo and old ass Russell Wilson ain't gonna tell you,
bro. If he goes into that season,
you go into the season with Russell Wilson,
might as well resign now.
Nick, I was about to say, nigga, if you go into the season,
might as well do it now.
Go into the season with Russell Wilson as your quarterback, when your entire offense is predicated off of using the middle of the field. This short ass nigga can't see the middle of the field. Nigga, you might as well throw the fuck up.
Right.
Like, it don't make no sense. So, like, as much as I would like to say Abdul Carter and they try and get Jackson Dart in the back half of the first round, man, they gonna panic. Take Shador, damn it.
Take Shador Sanders.
Interesting.
Yo, real quick. Just a side note that we getting old, Trey. Yeah, the Revel Speed has officially been banned.
What happened?
The Revel Speed has officially been banned.
Why?
It's too old, bro.
Oh, wow.
Dang, they got rid of the Revel Speed, man.
The Revel Speed came out 2012?
Yeah, 2012, 2011.
That's what I'm saying. Like, damn, we getting old, son.
No, I feel ancient now. That's crazy.
Playing with a CTE.
Yeah, so all the hold on, which one did they show that he's banned? Damn. Nah, yeah, that shit banned, bro.
All right, dude.
Phase out the game.
Yeah, Revel Speed. Oh, Zenith got banned?
That means the Stuck getting banned too.
Oh yeah, the Shut RP, the one that Aaron Rodgers wear all the time, that's gone. You can't do it. You can't wear it anymore.
Wow.
We get old. But Matt, it's crazy. We got 3 Patriots fans right lined up next. Like, next
you said they banned Zenith too.
Yo, Matt, if you mess this up, bro, we finding you, bro.
All Zeniths or just the older ones?
Hold up. So
I'm about to send in the chat, Jesse.
got Cam Ward at 1, Travis Hunter 2, Shador 3 to the Giants.
This is simple,
bro. If the Giants pick Shador, they're gonna build a statue of Joe Schoenauer.
Ashton Jeanty number 4.
Ew.
Stop baiting.
Why not?
Ashton.
Stop.
No,
bro. We already know. We already know y'all taking the best.
Bro, chill out, Donnie. Just get it over with and pick Will Campbell.
Oh wait,
what?
You wanted Campbell?
Wait. You wanted Campbell?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Okay,
why not?
No, I got to restart it now. Okay.
Yo, I know Matt's trolling, bro. I know this.
No, he's
no way he's not.
Hey! Haven't I been always the one that's been stressing to all of you how bad our offensive line is?
Wait, he's not serious.
Campbell over Abdul
over Ted McMillan?
Man,
No, just let him do it. Let him do it, bro. Let him do it, bro. Let him do
Okay.
it. It's already done, bro. Let him do it, bro.
Okay. Wow.
The Jags are
jumping
they're trading back.
Yeah, they got to trade back.
They would trade back.
Whoa, wait, hold on. Wait, why wouldn't they take Abdul though?
They have Josh Allen.
They have Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon.
But
now you got. Be honest. I would take him and knock Trayvon inside. That's what I would do.
Ooh. But bro, listen, it's a rotation regardless, bro. On rundowns, you can play Abdul as an off-the-ball linebacker. It's not that deep.
Bro, okay, I got next pick, right?
Yeah.
This is your pick.
We're running this in for Abdul Carter. We're running this in for Abdul Carter.
Yeah. I can't believe a guard got picked at 4 over Abdul Carter. I'm lost.
Matt really took T-Rex.
Dude, I was so confident he was going to say Abdul. I took him, then he said, well, Cam. I was like, wait, what?
That, like, whoa.
Polar bear.
Hey,
if this happens in real life.
Again, I'm not the draft dude.
I feel like
I'm
not the draft guy.
I can't lie.
Again, just knowing my team, I would want to have a guard over an edge. It's just the caliber of players that they are.
Holy moly!
That almost shocked me.
I'm not rage baiting. I'm literally telling you I'm dumb. What are you talking about?
Here's my privileges because that was the worst take I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's not even a take. It's literally a lack of a take.
Okay. Anyways,
Josh, you're up.
Blocking all of that noise. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
this is rage bait.
So the common pick here is usually Ashton Jeanty, but I'm going a different route today. I think this guy, there hasn't been much talk about him to the Raiders, but I feel like it's still a great possibility because they do need help on the right side of their offensive line. So I'm going to take Membu here.
Membu, okay.
Okay, interesting.
Y'all, yeah.
They do need help on the side.
No, it's just Mason Graham sitting there to me. He will go to the Jets.
I'm not gonna lie.
He's going to the Jets.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. This would be a match made in heaven for the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, you're up.
I think the Jets won defensive.
John, you picking Mason Graham?
I don't think this is gonna happen, but if this were to happen, I think they're taking Mason Graham.
Yeah.
I think Mason could go anywhere from 5 to 8.
I think
no troll. I'm not trolling.
What was the last time?
You don't think Mason Graham goes to the Panthers instead of the Jets?
No, do the Panthers pick before the Jets?
I mean, they need a D tackle.
So let me ask this, right? Young, why wouldn't you take Tet here?
Wait, the Panthers, they signed 2 D tackles, though. What you mean?
Young, you heard me?
Say that again?
I said, why wouldn't you take Tet here?
I mean, I don't think there's really anything wrong with the offense, personally. You could take Tet. I just think I think they're going to try to run the ball like crazy. That's just what I think. I think Breece Hall is going to get featured. I think Garrett is going to get force fed. I don't think they really need a alpha 2. But I wouldn't be mad at it. I just think if Mason Graham is sitting right here, I don't see how they pass.
Yeah, he's sitting nice and pretty. Yeah, you good? You want take him, Yon?
That's who I would take. I mean, you get Quinnen Williams and Mason Graham, bro.
Yeah,
that's
a very good D line. JJ, you got Carolina, man.
All right, give me SG. No, I'm playing.
Why is that a non-player? No, I'm chill.
Dang, they need a receiver.
Oh, sure.
But the thing is,
okay, there we go.
They could take their one. They could obviously take the clear cut, number one dude. But I wouldn't be surprised if they took another receiver, just being weird. And it's not Matthew Golden, so don't even have your thing over him.
Yo.
Ooh, this is tough.
Is it?
I could also see them going defense too, though. So do I make the clear choice, or do I have them taking an edge?
I think he's ranked at 25. There he is. But if you're looking at Jalen Walker, but
no.
Yeah, if we're predicting, I think that's who they're going to take.
J. Mid Walker.
I have a friend of mine who's a big Panthers fan, and he's friends with the beat reporter for them. They think they're taking a Bulldog. They don't know which one, but they think they're taking a Bulldog.
I love Michael Williams. I love you.
Well, if they're going to take a Bulldog, I feel like they will try to bolster the DB. If anything, if that's the case, so that's what you're saying. They'll take Starks, but I doubt that. So I'm just gonna go with the obvious pick and give me. Do I want to be? Nah, just go with the obvious one. Give me Ted.
Okay.
I could have been weird just now, y'all.
All right, Trent, you're up with the Saints, man. Is this where Jackson Dart's going?
Yo,
good troll.
Yo, this is a predictive mock, guys. I'm just saying.
So I think it's going to.
Ain't no quarterback.
Shador's gone.
Shador's gone. Yep. What position are you thinking?
I mean, let's say they do need. It's like, bro, like I feel bad for Chris Olave because I just think he's the tool of wide receivers. Like he don't like this nigga stay getting hurt. They need everything, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Oh yeah, and Ramczyk just retired, so like
they need they literally need
yeah, Ryan Ramczyk did retire. Oh,
yeah, they could go O-line.
Trevor Penning's currently
tackle.
So their tackles are going to be Fuaga and Trevor Penning.
But they can move one. They can move Penning to guard because
and then draft the tackle.
Move Fuaga to guard if they
yeah,
want.
they could go Kevin Banks here.
I was just about to say, in this situation, yeah, go Kelvin.
I mean, coaching staff is killing.
I'm not gonna lie, this
shout out VIP, by the way. Shout out VIP.
Facts, but I'm not gonna lie though. If this actually happened in real life, the Saints would be so SOL though.
They might be the
I'm
worst
not
team in
lying.
football.
Oh, I think if this happens, they're taking Jackson Dart.
They might. Yeah.
I could see Jackson.
Yes,
but I think they will.
Jan, it's funny you say that because whenever I was on FanDuel looking at the Jags pick, Jackson Dart is the third highest odds to go there. The only two ahead are, I believe it was Michael and Shamar Stewart. And
Warren wasn't ahead.
hold on. Let me just.
I heard the Saints love Warren.
Well, they did sign Juwan Johnson to a 3-year deal.
Yeah, wait. Juwan Johnson ain't nobody worried.
Yeah, I'm checking right now. Okay, it goes Michael, Tyler Warren, and then Jackson Dart.
Yep.
But Jackson Dart and Warren have the same odds, so the favorite is Michael. Okay. All right. Am I up with the Bears? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if it falls like this, they're going to take Jeanty.
They're sprinting.
Yeah,
That's just like
they're running.
insane.
Ben Johnson.
That's
Ben
right
Johnson
in your
might be. Ben Johnson might be doing backflips for all.
Wait, I got a serious question though. We know we love Jeanty, right? But what's stopping them from really trying to say they want to take Hampton right there?
They're not
yeah.
Here, I'll tell you, JJ. It's the fact that they went to his pro day, they took him on a 30-day visit, and they had a private workout with him.
Ooh, you so
I
lucky,
don't think Hampton is as good, and if they love Hampton that much, they can trade back to somebody that will come get Jeanty.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just saying, like, you feel me? Like, you're gonna take a running back, and obviously you want to take a guy like Jeanty, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised if a team would try to move back because they feel like they can get a lot of great work out of Hampton too. You feel me?
Oh,
they think they can get a top 10, top 5 back out of Hampton too, even though I don't know if that's what he'll be, but they feel like it.
I agree.
I mean, every year it seems like we say
This
that's
is
the
why
strategy, and then a
this
team
is-
ends up reaching
This
for
is
running
my exact
backs.
reason for not drafting running backs, JJ.
Trey, you're up with the Niners, man.
Okay, so if you could do me a favor and back out, I was about to say back out of that.
Any position you're thinking?
Hold on, just keep it there. They need help at DB. They need help on that defensive line because they have to rebuild it. I do not know if Walter Nolan goes here, even though the talent would suggest that yes, he does. I don't know if they do it. So actually, I'll go Jahdae Barron here. That makes sense. High floor, safe pick.
Get him in that Sawa zone scheme also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Matt, you're up with that Dallas, man.
I'm just trying to think of like what they need, like
a lot.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think like what do they need the most though, and
Bro said
who's
Walter going to the
available.
Eagles. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, he ain't
Walter
falling
Nolan falls to the Eagles. I will
If he falls to the Eagles, I think I'd actually rage on Sterling.
because I don't know if I told y'all this, but I know Norman and Donnie know. I think Walter Nolan's a top 10 player in the draft.
Yes,
he is.
Yeah,
He's top 10 player.
Norman, where do you have him? You said
I said earlier today I have him at 7 on my board pretty high on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And then
I'm
Josh,
I'm not a draft
Josh has
guy.
him
I'm
at
honestly
12.
casual when it comes to this. So
Josh
you know,
has him at
take
10. I have
yeah,
him at 12. So yeah.
dude, take Walter Nolan right here at 12.
Alrighty.
Don't know shit about him.
Norman, Miami.
Miami's weird.
I think Malachi could be fun.
There's someone that we haven't taken yet. That, like, I'm thinking between like Will Johnson and then like Josh Simmons.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I do like Simmons.
I mean, yeah, because Armstead.
He just retired.
Yeah,
Armstead retired.
And Simmons is a scheme fit too. So.
Yeah. Also, like, I was gonna take Walter Nolan, but he didn't slide. Matt took him with Dallas, so
yeah.
I think I can go Simmons. Makes sense. They need tackle, and I mean I have him pretty high on my board. I have him in the teens. Like he's a value here, and he's like a need. So I'm gonna take Simmons.
I think I'm probably the low man out of us on Josh Simmons. Probably.
You want to take the chance of the knee being okay?
Well,
like
it's
said, we have modern medicine.
Well, it's not even that, dude. It's just I don't know, man.
It's a limited sample.
Not only was it limited sample size, dude, the best D line he played was Iowa, and that D line coming from an Iowa fan is not very good.
Yeah.
Like he never went up against Mike Green once. So like, I don't know, man. The competition was really bad, and he wasn't even that good last year at Ohio State. I thought. I don't know.
He didn't play the Marshall game, right?
No, he did. This year he did, but he Mike Green lined up on the right side the entire game.
So he was running.
Yeah. Josh, easiest pick, Tyler Warren, maybe?
The league loves Tyler Warren. Take him.
Ooh, thank God. You know, I got 3 guys that I want here.
It ain't your pick.
JJ can take my pick.
No.
You make the pick.
You're not doing
the pick.
Oh, Trent, come on.
I was gonna let JJ do it. This is
no. You make the pick. I just said, oh, thank God, because we got 4 guys that I would want to see this team right here pick up, so that way they can become better in the future and be just as good as the Lions, man.
Are you talking about Omar Norman Lott? No, I'm your love.
The formula is to be like the Lions, so they need to follow the Lions and get like us.
Get some D line help.
Yeah.
So young talk.
I think they're taking, bro. Just seeing Will Johnson slide. If you could make him a corner too, they're probably gonna take Mike. I think they take Mike Green.
Okay.
I don't know if I would take him personally.
Do you think they're gonna take Mike Green though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they've been neglecting D line for it seems like the last 5 years. And that's what they seem like they miss every year.
All right, JJ, don't let me down, man.
Let him down. Let that monkey down.
Wow, that's crazy.
Hey, but Young, I wouldn't lie to you. I think the Falcons, they had Will Johnson on their radar too, man. But they never gonna get like us. You feel me? With
the Lions.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
We got Terrion Arnold over here, man. Will Johnson ain't never gonna be no Terrion Arnold.
What'd you think for Arizona, JJ?
He about to do something stupid.
This man giggling.
Yo, Donnie, what you doing with the mouse, bro? Yo, Donnie, get like, can you close out so I can see the other players? Ooh, you feel me? All right, go to D line. Go to the defensive tackles for me real quick. Yeah, bro. You see, you ranked 21.
Oh, look at Donnie. All that Kenneth Grant glazing you done. Where he got you? Now he's a Cardinal. Let's go. Write it in. Go ahead and click that draft button right now. Go ahead.
Click some JJ.
Click the button.
Click the button, Donnie.
Click the button.
Yeah, Donnie, do it. Let's go.
How you gonna glaze a player? How you gonna glaze them and they get mad when y'all take them?
Well, Donnie don't even glaze Kenneth Grant like he used to anymore. So he's cooled down on it. He has Kenneth Grant like what 24 on your board, right?
25.
Let me tell you something. I told Donnie Norman this. That boy Kenneth Grant, he closer to Derek Carmen. I mean, he closer to Tyleek Williams than he is to Derek Carmen. So
wow. Okay.
I mean, Brett Coleman made Kenneth Grant overrated.
That boy Brett Coleman had some DT1.
By the way, I just want to say this real quick. If this actually happens and we pass on Will Johnson and go Kenneth Grant,
You're a free agent.
That's a monster.
Oh man, I'm demanding a trade. I'm out. I'm gone.
Y'all might take what's his name too, Matthew Golden. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, we're not. We're not going receiver.
All right.
We're not. It's going to be their defense. I think tackle. If Kelvin's there, I think they could take him. But I don't know if.
Also, I have a question.
Bro, what's wrong with Grippy, by the way, bro?
I don't know, bro.
What's your question, Josh? What's your question, bro?
What's stopping me from putting Derek Carmen as a top 15 player?
Pad level.
Your brain.
Kenneth Grant?
Hey, is he top 15?
Yeah.
No, because Derek Carmen.
Exactly.
Josh, where do you have Harmon?
Also, another reason, Josh.
17.
Because are you going to tell me that Derek Harmon can tackle? Because he cannot tackle.
Did he have a tackling problem last year? No.
Yes.
I don't care.
So he lost weight and then he became a better pass rusher and then can't tackle.
No, he didn't just become a better pass rusher. He became a way better. He became the best pass rusher in the country.
Oh, I agree, Josh. I agree.
In the country.
Josh, I agree. But then his run defense got worse, and then he missed 30% of his tackles.
He's missing tackles, but he's still disrupting the run. He's still disrupting the run. Okay, whoa. Anyway, let's move on from those comments. Let's continue the draft. That was insane.
I didn't even see what happened.
No, you don't.
Nothing.
Okay. I was on the PFF screen. I can't lie.
I'm crying.
Trent, you're up with Cincinnati, man.
I got Cincinnati.
Yep.
I'd be wild if I said Jihad.
No, you wouldn't be.
Nope.
I feel like Jihad.
Not at all.
You're gonna steal him from. You're gonna steal him from you.
The Bucks.
Yeah, you are right. But I think they actually go edge though. The Bucks.
Are you think the Bucks go edge?
Oh, word! You got sources. They told you, huh?
Nah, I'm just assuming they go edge.
Brother,
but yeah, hold on. Was all D linemen left?
You got Mike Kell is available. Donovan Ezeraku's available. Shamar Stewart's available. Nick Horton is available. James Pierce is available, but he's not going to go this high. I can promise you that. He's a thug.
Nah, take Hottie.
He's a thug.
Take who?
Take Hottie.
Oh, John.
He got me crying right now, bro.
All right, I'm up with Seattle. Man, the Will Johnson fall is ridiculous, but I don't think they take him here.
Nope, they don't.
I don't think they do. If we're going what I think, can I do a trade?
No.
Yeah, but why not?
Okay, I'm gonna do a trade. Because they tried to trade up for Bowers last year. I think they're gonna try to trade up for level.
Ooh, I like it, Donnie. I like it.
And if this happens, Josh, by the way, I will cry. But I think the fit is perfect. So 26, 18, 90. It's probably enough, right? Maybe something like that. It's probably good enough.
Dang, they got our pick. That's tough.
There we go. And Coastal Loveland,
you are a Ram.
Coastal Loveland, you are.
Will Johnson, you are in the NFC South.
Trey, obvious pick of the century.
Oh,
you're the one that was screaming after the playoff game about how bad those corners are.
Y'all think
Jamel
think they would trade up for Loveland and leave Will Johnson there?
I just realized how bad the Rams corners were. I just forgot about that. Yeah, they're actually like the worst in the league.
That's
they're bad. You know, that is a good call. I did kind of forget about it.
It's all right.
I mean, I still think it's possible.
I know they love Loveland though. They love.
I mean, dude, McVay just wants one of those like type of tight ends. Like he tried his ass off to get Bowers, but it didn't happen. So.
I mean, McVay's been pretty loyal to Higbee now for a minute, so it's like I don't know how.
Yeah, I'm stuck here because I want to take Will, but Malachi Starks is still on the board. You really can't go wrong with either one.
They need that outside guy, though. You know that. You was over there crying about Carlton Davis.
Yeah, I'm sick of Jamel Dean and
Carlton Davis. He's good. What you mean?
Wait, time out.
Yeah, I
If
met
this is
Jamel.
time out. If this is
years.
time out. If this, Will Johnson on the board for the Bucks? Yo,
Yeah,
take
Will
him a heartbeat.
Johnson's on the
I
board.
met Jamel.
Even
Yeah,
with the
take him in a
medicals, we got to take him. So
Take him in a heart. I wish Will Johnson.
Even if the medicals are iffy, like I still think
I don't
you
care if
guys
the
can-
medicals are bad. You're playing football here.
You're playing football.
Screw the medicals. I don't.
Screw the medicals.
I
You're
don't
playing
care what
football.
nobody's saying about Will Johnson right now, bro. People are stupid.
So like Will Johnson on one leg is
Kirk
better than
Cousins.
Jamal Dean
I
on
seen
two. Is
Kirk
that what we're
Cousins.
saying?
yes,
Yes.
I'm just asking questions. I'm just
I
asking
seen
questions.
Kirk Cousins almost throw for 600 yards on our secondary. We need a
All right, Matt, you got Denver, man.
Matt, if you need help, let me know.
Well,
yeah.
right now, no, I don't think
There's
I-
one pick that I think I don't know what you think,
Listen.
Josh.
I think they're going that boy from UNC.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they're going that boy from UNC.
I mean, I don't know what they. I mean,
And I
here's what
think
I'm doing, looking at the board and looking at
I
what they
think
need
they're
right
either-
now. Right now, their receiving core, their wide receiver
think-
two after Sutton is a combination of an argument of Marvin Mims or Devon Vele.
Good
like-
players.
I think they're either taking Golden.
I would take Burden here.
You did Burden. Okay, is that who you think is going to happen though?
I have no clue what's going to happen.
I mean, if you want
what
to take
did I
Burden,
say
that's
earlier
fine.
on the show?
If you want to take Burden, that's fine.
I mean, you can. It's up to you.
Yeah, take Burden. I mean,
Okay. I could see it happening.
Yeah, Mecca was definitely going to.
I was about to say if a Mecca's there,
Yeah, I feel like Emeka's his type of guy.
yeah.
Norman.
Luther Burden is falling out of the first round.
Yeah, I think he's not going first round.
Norman, you know what to do, buddy.
No, he doesn't.
You know what to do.
No, he doesn't.
Man,
They don't
I
got
wanna
it.
take
Norman,
Jackson.
come on, bro.
I don't care if this is predictive. I cannot have, in not a good headspace, pick Jackson Dart in the first round.
You want Mason Rudolph starting next year?
They're gonna take.
Who cares?
I'm not gonna lie, they take Will
Aaron
Howard
Rodgers
before they
is
take
starting.
You
Dart.
have Mason. You
Aaron
want to
Rodgers
draft
ain't
Mason
there yet,
Rudolph?
yo. He ain't there yet.
Donnie. Is
Donnie.
it great?
Jackson Dart's not Mason Rudolph? I'm not even trolling. Is he not?
He's not
What's stopping
Mason
them?
Rudolph.
What's stopping them from taking the UNC guy here?
Yeah, they could take Hampton.
Oh, good
They could.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'm like, if I'm taking quarterback, I would probably just want to take Milrow. But I don't want to take. I don't want to take Milrow
Milrow's
first
better
round.
than
That's the
Dart.
thing.
Ugh.
Oh man.
Bro, I'm taking Milrow every single day of the week over Dart.
I'm taking Milrow over Hampton too.
I'm taking Will Howard. Yo,
Yeah, you should be banned. Taking Kyle McCord over Dart. Nah, me chill out.
Is it straight like? I don't know.
Kyle
I'm
McCord
gonna-
had better.
You can do a trade if you want. You can do a trade if you want.
This is weird.
If Kyle McCord
I'm
had
either
better
gonna
arm strength, is
stick
what I
and
should
pick with
say.
Milrow or take. I don't know if taking Sturks is crazy, but I don't know. I think they already have.
Ooh,
Like,
that's actually
even
good
though
too.
like the thing is like even though Minka had a down year, he's still their free safety, and I think that's what Malachi does best. Even though Malachi's played a ton of nickel.
Yeah,
I don't know. You know what?
I mean, he wasn't the best at nickel though. That's the
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
he
saying.
struggled
Like,
there.
I think he's better.
They just did
playing-
that to get Bolden on the field.
Yeah, I think he's better playing as a free safety. So let's stick and pick Milrow.
Ugh.
I like it. I love it.
I'm taking running back. Go.
You love it, Josh?
Yes, I love Jalen Milrow.
If you need
I
a
love
running back,
Jalen Milrow.
just put Milrow at running back. Not really that hard.
I love
All
Jalen
right,
Milrow. not because he's
Josh,
good, that's
Josh,
the
you got
idea.
Jalen
Josh.
Milrow and Travis Hunter, both they played.
Josh, you got the Chargers, man.
Oh, Matthew Golden. Get it done.
Why would they take Matthew?
What do you mean? Why would they take Matthew Golden?
I think they take him.
They're
I
taking.
think
Well, I'm
they're
just
done.
saying,
I
it's
think
like
they
the
go.
type of receivers that you have now is like, why would you? Okay, I mean,
I think they're done with
You
Christian
got
Watson.
you got Ladd in the slot. Golden can play outside. He can play. He can be a Z.
Oh,
JJ, you believe that?
You
I don't
you
know.
think Golden's gonna be a slot only guy?
no, that's not what I'm saying. I just don't.
It's Jim Harbaugh. You're not going to expect a wide receiver first round.
Right, I don't think that
they're
they
gonna
that's
take Amari Hampton.
They need it, bro. I mean, Hampton.
and then like he already
If you
got the
put
receiver
Hampton
that
in
he.
that,
I
oh,
honestly, I 100% believe that. Like Ladd is gonna be like his guy for the foreseeable future. You add Golden to that mix too. It's like you got a bunch of smaller dudes. He's gonna definitely want a bigger guy on the outside to keep going with his scheme too.
Jaden Higgins first round. Come on, Josh.
I'm not taking Jaden Higgins first round. I'd rather take Jalen Noel for. No, me chill out.
Gross.
Bro, said Kenneth Grant to the Steelers. Does he know?
He's literally already picked. Doctor.
Oh, who? It's my turn.
No, Josh, you're up. Oh no, wait. You pick. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Go to the D line. I think Jalen Walker's still on the board.
Oh my God! There's no way he's falling this far. What are we doing?
I was gonna take a Mecca, but if he falls,
Jalen Walker falls.
God, guys, the league literally thinks this guy's a blue chip. I disagree.
Yeah, I could. Yeah,
he's not.
I have told y'all, I'm not touching any Georgia defensive players, bro, unless their name is Jalen Carter. I might touch Michael. All these other guys to me are their pause. They're all.
You don't like Malachi?
Their scheme. I do like Malachi. Him and Michael are the only ones I kind of like, but a lot of these guys are. I think they're UGA scheme dependent players.
Running back, D-line.
Young, I love the Michael vision, man, bro. People understand that this guy played the season injured. He played the majority.
Yeah, he did. Well, and not only that, but they also played him in the wrong spot once again, but the third year in a row.
Because they adversity. That's what I'm saying.
I know they have to.
Doing it because they're trying to win.
No, Young. That's not what makes me mad. What makes me mad is before the season started, they said they were going to line him up outside the tackle shoulder, and they didn't do it.
No chance.
That's my fault. He said he was going to do it, and then he never did it. That's what makes me mad.
Yep.
Look,
buddy,
JJ, you're up.
We have gotten Trayvon Walker drafted from here. You're doing the same thing.
Take Malachi.
Take Malachi. Okay.
Oh,
good pick.
All right, Trent, Houston. Ooh, you could reunite him.
Mecca, Nico. Oh my gosh.
Go Mecca.
All right.
Screw the O-line. We don't need it. I'm up in Seattle again.
Bro, CJ Stroud hero ball. We here.
Yo, there's no way Grace Abel just fell to them. Oh my God.
Yes, he did, and that's who I'm taking.
Oh my gosh, Grace Abel.
Gosh, if they trade down, get a third-round pick, and get Zabel, good for them.
Yo, check the wide receivers.
If I'm dumb, I'm picking Zabel at 18. So
check the wide receivers for the Ravens again. They always need one.
Donnie compared to Mecca to Juju. Juju was not bad for a while.
Donnie compared to Mecca to Juju.
Donnie.
Wait, time out. You compared to Mecca to
that was like 2 years.
He's not picking off golf.
Time
out. Are you talking about college Juju Smith or what Juju Smith?
This was like 2 years ago, guys.
Answer the question. Wow. Are you talking about college Juju Smith?
Yes.
Or
well, it's stylistically, I'm pretty sure. Like stylistic comms.
That's what I'm saying. Stylist. I'm not saying.
I disagree with it, but stylistic comms are just like style. Don't be skilled.
Javon, he is not picking off golf, bro. You gotta stop.
Wait, is question? This is all topic.
Trey, you're up with Baltimore.
All right.
They need another receiver, sadly.
All right.
You taking Jaden Higgins in the first round?
He ain't taking
no, we're not doing that. Go back.
He ain't taking nobody.
Why not?
We're not taking nobody.
Why not?
Okay,
Why
cool.
not? What type of question is that?
Okay, cool.
Why not?
Let's see what we got here. We got
an X. He can play X for them.
We got Donovan.
Get bought now.
Hold on, wait. Scroll down. Huh? We got Donovan.
Trey Harris can play X. Who cares?
We got Donovan. We got Trey Amos.
You're nasty, Josh.
Ooh.
Position don't matter. You gotta be good.
And he is good.
He is not first round good.
You know what? For once, I'm going to give them a pass rusher that's actually not a fucking project. Give them Donovan.
Oh yeah, I love his Oracle for them.
Great name, by the way. I just want to say this great name, by the way. Fantastic name.
Also at this point, they got a trend. They got an international front line.
They love them Nigerian edge rushers, bro. I'm telling you, bro. They love them Nigerian edge rushers. They got Ojabo over there. They got
Ojabo, Owe.
Odafe Owe. Come on, bro.
Odafe Owe, Nnamdi Madubuike, and David Ojabo. Like,
bro, you got Giannis finna be in attendance every game, man. Come on, let's go.
All right, Matt. Lions 28.
This Trey Amos guy, is he like a slot? Like, does he?
No, he is an outside.
No, he's a boundary. I mean, I wouldn't
All
take
right,
him.
all
I don't know how Josh feels about him.
Because I'm just thinking of what the Lions need, and like they just lost Carlton Davis, and I know
If we're going corner, I would go with I mean,
There's
Morrison's
I did watch a bit
He's
of
not
Morrison.
going round one. He's not going round one.
No.
Yeah.
But he has like some injury issues though, right?
Yeah.
Morrison
With his
does,
hip,
yeah.
he's not like Amos.
Yeah,
I
get
heard
him
could
an
go
edge,
round
bro.
one. I heard Harrison could go round one.
Yeah,
Get
I
him
was
an
about to
edge,
say
bro.
Harrison is the one that's most likely to go around,
And I think Harrison sucks.
which
but
I think is terrible because I don't like him either, Josh.
Get him an edge, bro. Get them an edge.
They do need an edge too.
Yeah, they do.
Who's available at edge?
Nick Scorn's on the board.
I mean,
Don't look at Pierce. Do not take.
Don't look at Pierce. Look at the
Where's
better
our
edge
guy?
rusher. Look at the better edge rusher.
What about who?
Where's our DT2? Shamar Stewart.
Yo, I didn't see Shamar.
There we go.
Yeah, but pick Shamar. Yeah,
Shamar's a really good pick. Scheme fit right there.
Yeah, scheme fit. Good
Oh yeah, I
value.
love that.
This is probably.
How do y'all know the scheme though?
This is Young's like best pick of the
They're
draft.
on the 4-3.
Yeah, that's a steal right there, Donnie.
You think they're going to run a 4-3 with Shepard?
I mean, they should. They
should.
By the way, I don't know if you guys knew this about Shamar Stewart. After his pro day testing, he passed Myles Garrett on RAS score.
Yeah, he's a 10
He has the highest RAS score of any defensive end in
ever.
Yeah.
And guess what? He's not even going to be a good defensive end.
You're wrong, bro. You don't know.
That boy Young with the Shamar
ready to win
DT,
three
he
seconds.
loves
He's gonna be
it.
above average,
He loves it.
and they're gonna kick him inside. Look, this is what's gonna happen. They're gonna try to do what they did with Trayvon Walker. Same thing's gonna pan out. Trayvon Walker next year is getting kicked inside somewhere. They're not paying him.
Well, unless they take Mason Graham, then they're not kicking him inside.
I was
don't know. I rock that blue and gray now,
but
man.
Young, like as an inside, like would you like him more as like a 3-tech or like 4-eye? Like
I don't want him playing like a shade. Like he's more. I think I want him to gain his weight back and play like a 3-tech on pass rush downs, and then like a 4-tech, a 4-eye, something like that. Like over the tackle.
So you never want him. You never want him outside the tackle shoulder.
No, never. And unless he goes and becomes Cam Jordan, which I don't think he is. Like
Well,
he can play
he's-
like a strong
he's a
end.
so like kind of like a Keon White role in a way.
Yeah, but I don't. That's what I don't like. I don't think that's a game breaking spot in my opinion. Like I think if he was a 3 technique, he could be a game breaker.
Yeah,
but that's just me.
All right,
He's trying to
Norman.
get paid. I get it.
Norman, you're up at the Commanders.
Norman Powell.
Wait, what did you say, Josh?
My fault, bro. I didn't mean that. I promise.
Oh, I'm gonna take. I mean, they still need edge. There's a guy that's fallen that I think
And he does
could
not
have been
play
taken
Tennessee.
earlier. I think I'm gonna take on Michael Williams.
Ooh,
whoa!
I forgot.
Mike Hill is there. Oh my gosh, bro! He's going, bro. I love
he's
Mike
going
Hill.
early. He's going
I love
early.
Mike Hill.
Josh, you're up.
I am banging Donnie. I am banging the table for Derek Harmon. If you don't pick him right now, I'm about to get mad. Where Derek Harmon at, bro? Pick him right now.
He has him below Norman a lot.
That's crazy.
Trevor's gonna have to find me.
And he has him
Trevor's
below
gonna have to
Tyreek Williams.
You have Omar Norman Law again ahead of Tyreek and Derek Harmon. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, bro. Trevor Sycamore washed.
Pick Derek Harmon right now, bro.
I can't say anything about Trevor, man. He's, that's.
Yeah, you work for him.
This
so
is
you,
a
well,
bad
you
thing.
work
You
with
work
him. You can't.
Bro,
Yeah, Donnie.
Tennessee-
No verbal coworker violence. You gotta say.
Bro,
truth.
Tennessee, I know Trey and all you old heads know. Tennessee goes like 11 deep on their D line, bro. They rotate like crazy. That boy Norman Law has like no snaps.
Yeah, he has like none.
But
that could be a good.
Kansas City, they're taking who's the tackle from Oregon.
You got Kansas City. Oh, he just.
They're
I
taking
can't
that
believe, I
tackle.
can't believe Hampton's falling out of the first.
This is how it should be.
Yes.
I think Kansas City takes O-line. What tackles are left?
Josh Connerly.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, big old Connerly and Jackson. Jackson has that versatility too.
And Ariante.
Oh no, we're not looking at Ariante.
No, we are not looking at him, bro.
So y'all believe they traded Joe Tooney? That's pretty smart. I'm not gonna lie. They got out of him
Let me
a
see
year
what
early.
receivers are left.
All right, last pick. JJ,
Let me
the
see what receivers
Philadelphia
are left.
Eagles. What are we thinking?
Let me see what receivers are left.
Oh, you freaky.
Jane Higgins. Jane Higgins, come on.
They're not taking receiver.
Hey, Mason Taylor? Nah, me chill out.
Go to the guards real quick.
Yo, Josh, I heard some rumors.
I heard Mason Taylor could be a player.
I don't think it happens, but if it does, man, that'd be something.
I think
go to the guards real quick.
I think they go Donovan Jackson.
Go to the guards real quick.
I think they go Donovan Jackson, just kick him to guard if they're in this scenario.
I think they go Pierce because of how good he is, and I don't think how he cares about character concerns. So,
and I think
he's crazy. I'm trying to see if I can find anything else before I just say that though.
I mean, I would say. I mean,
he's going to be a situational pass rusher. That's all they really want.
I take scoring. That's who I'd take.
I love scoring. I'm a huge fan.
I think I've been on the train of scoring's better than Pierce for a while. So
yeah, don't be fooled by A&M made him get fat.
No, do not be fooled by A&M tape. They made him gain 20 pounds.
A&M just not a real program. I don't care. Screw A&M. I hate A&M with everything in my
James
heart.
Pierce there.
I like it. But yeah, I'm anti A&M until I die.
I think the only pick, I think we're probably going to get maybe 4 picks right in this, by the way.
Yeah, Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, and that's about it.
I swear, Travis Hunter should be going 1, but
we know.
Dude, if you guys pass on Abdul Carter for Will Campbell, I just want to see what Josh.
I'm just telling you right now, you'd never see me watch another NFL game ever.
Are you becoming a free agent like me? If we take Kenneth Grant, you a free agent?
Man, just come join my team, bro.
I mean, hey Donnie, I'm hearing according to some of y'all. Oh, Kenneth Grant the next Dexter Lawrence? Yeah, I'm sure, man.
Who said that?
People. Brett Coleman.
Brett Coleman did say that.
He's crazy.
If Kenneth Grant is the next Dexter Lawrence, what is Mason Grant?
Warren
Aaron Donald.
Matthew Ioannidis on crack cocaine.
Wow.
Okay, that was just.
We got to get out of here now.
All right, so look, chat. Appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Gonna end it here. Make sure to tap in. What's the name? We're doing the draft stream Thursday and Friday. I'm not doing Saturday because day 3. I'm not doing day 3. That's just the draft stream. That's why I got the 1K last year. See, we try to get the 2K this year. I think everybody gonna be. I think G Baby's gonna be there. Everybody that all the old familiar faces gonna be there for the draft stream. Whether we chilling watching the draft. We might have another iconic moment like what happened with the Falcons last year with JJ. I don't know. The Patriots could take Will Campbell at 4. Josh might crash out.
No mic.
Buddy.
No, there's not a mic.
There's not a mic.
You said.
Now, if they take Jeanty, we'll really see
what happened?
What'd you say?
What'd I say?
You say, yeah, you being a bot. You sad. You sad. Like I said, I keep tapping in with us, bro. Like, subscribe, all that. College show back on Monday. I'll say we couldn't do it yesterday because I was still in Vegas, out of town. We're gonna be back with that because we gotta talk about these Mount Rushmores of these college football.
Oh man,
gotta talk about these Mount Rushmores because first I'm hearing people cape for Baker Mayfield. Shout out Baker. I'm gonna see him in a couple of weeks, but he's not. But now I'm hearing Jameis Winston belongs in that college quarterback Mount Rushmore, and that's crazy. But look though, chat,
bro, that's not crazy.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
And on that note, chat, we'll see y'all. Deuces. Make sure y'all type in with the we streaming Thursday and Friday on the draft stream. Make sure y'all type in those. But we out. Bro.